Dukes of Weebdom!
Dukes of Weebdom!
Episode 110. How you doing?
Good.
Good. We're doing good. A few things have happened. Namely, I got an email from TCG Player, where I bought my Magic cards, saying your cards will arrive on Wednesday. I was like, oh, sweet. So I screenshot it, sent to my wife. I was like, hey, look, we're going to get our Final Fantasy cards 2 days early. And then later that day, she texts me saying, with a picture of her holding it. And I was like, oh, shit. I got it 2 days before the 2 days early. So I got it on Monday.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. So I bought a booster pack, a box or whatever, 30-pack box booster thing. And,
the big boy.
Yeah. Opened a bunch of Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. And you played a bunch on Arena.
I did. I played it like, so far 2 drafts and just opened some packs here and there.
Glorious.
It's fun. So far, so good. I mean, didn't do great in the drafts so far, but still
it's a draft, though, because you're just kind of limited to what you get from...
Yeah. I got Kefka first pull, so I was just like, I'll build everything around you, sir.
That's what you got to do. The only draft we went to in person was the Theros draft, and
yes.
That demon...
And I've actually gone to a couple, like...
or whatever it was. I built around a whole around him, and I did fairly well.
Yes, you did. I actually, that was so long ago. Theros.
Yeah, and I actually made a 4-color deck, too, for a draft, of all things.
I actually went to a couple drafts at someone's house, too, like, since then. Because I know someone that hosts them here and there.
Nice.
Everyone pitches in for a box.
You haven't had those things. Well, yes, I mean, everyone has had these things. But you know those things when you, like... where you think back on something that happened in the past of your life and you just like kind of cringe at it and you're like, damn.
Often.
Yeah, right?
Very often.
So one that always keeps popping back up into my head because it has to do with Magic is when me and my wife were first starting to go out. One of our first couple of dates, I don't remember. It was early on. We were dating for maybe a month, 2 months max. And one of her friends wanted to do a draft. But the way my wife explained it to me was that, like, so it was me and my wife, her friend, and her friend's boyfriend.
Yes.
So there would have been 4 of us. And her friend brought up the idea to go do a draft. In my brain, I thought that meant as in, let's go to a card shop or something like that with mad other people and do a big draft. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I wanted something more, like, intimate. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like around a table.
Or, with, like...
With just people, you know.
Yeah, or just, like, because we're hanging out to get to know each other and stuff like that. I was like, it'd be, let's do something else.
Yeah, so that you don't have to temper what you're talking about to a bunch of strangers, too.
Right. So, but then when we got to their house, they asked me why I didn't want to do it or whatever, and I completely misunderstood it. They just wanted all 4 of us to buy some packs and do a draft at the house, so it would have been a draft of us, and I felt so bad because I just like basically at that point ruined the night from my misunderstanding of what they meant. Because again, I thought they meant let's go to a card shop and do a draft, and I'm like, let's not. But I would have been totally down to do like a 4-person draft just at somebody's house. You know what I mean? Of packs you just bought on the way there. That would have been fun. But no, it's just something I cringe about sometimes when I think about Magic, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
We should try to host one. Now I want to go to a card shop for a draft, but who knows what the Final Fantasy draft costs for entry are going to be.
Right, because then they got to give out those packs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the traditional one's like 8 people, though, I think.
Yeah, and you keep the...
Oh, yeah.
You keep the cards that you open in your packs.
And then just like the Theros sealed event we went to, based on how you do, you can win packs, too.
Right. Yeah, I can see that being expensive, especially in the Final Fantasy one where the fucking prices are just outrageous
where the inflation's crazy.
Well, I mean,
but the demand being high means those events are probably actually getting, like, booked. I should actually check on that.
Right. Well, because, like, I'm sure some of the cards are priced in value just because of who or what they are.
Yeah.
Well, like that card, the Stay With Me card with Titus and Yuna, what does that card even do?
Oh, that's Ristic Study. It's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you draw a card unless they pay 1 mana.
Okay, so that just never mind. Because I was gonna say, I mean, that's like the iconic scene from 10 as well. When
That is like one of the most sought after commander cards ever, because it's just one of the best cards in Magic.
Okay, so never mind. I can see why that's priced at $100.
Oh, yeah. Like
Which I did pull that one.
staple.
I pulled the full art.
I sold my Ristic Study.
Hopefully for a good price.
Yeah, and I reinvested it into more Magic, probably.
I mean, probably.
Probably.
But yeah, so I pulled a bunch of good cards as a whole. It's the first set that I'm ever buying Magic cards solely to put in a binder for collection, not to play and make decks out of.
You even planned in your binder.
I am, yeah. I planned it all out. So I still need a bunch of the villains and a bunch of the heroes, and
which you'll get.
Yeah, a lot of them are uncommons, so it's just a matter of keep buying packs, and eventually you'll get them. And plus, I mean, you could buy singles.
When it comes down to it.
When it comes down to it. Like, I'm sure I'm going to have to, some of the more buy those singles, because what am I going to do, buy 100 packs for hoping to pull one?
The saddest thing is you're praying that they won't be viable. I'm praying that they will.
Oh. Right?
I don't want this set to flop in like a gameplay wise, or no one does, because then the value goes down. And sorry everyone, I got a sore throat. My toad ass.
It's all good.
Appreciate.
But yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun collecting the cards.
Good. The set is tailor made for you.
Yeah, basically.
For us, to be honest, like I'm even looking at all the commons and uncommons I pull on Arena, and I never do that. I don't ever do that.
Yeah, I mean, there are some cool on commons, but
they're still commons.
They're still commons. I think I put a few of them in the binder just because I'm like, oh, I think one of them's like Chocobo Kick, and I'm like, it's Chocobo. It goes on my Chocobo page. You know what I mean? But
like I told you before we recorded, the Chocobo deck was kind of kicking ass and limited.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited, but then the commander side I'm gonna get fucked on.
Oh, you absolutely are.
Because I just would need the Cloud and Y'shtola commander decks. So because there's like 20 cards in each of those that I want. But then like the Terra deck, there's 2 cards in it that I want. So I'll just buy those 2 cards. Yeah. I'm not buying the commander deck for 2 cards.
I kind of want the Y'shtola deck just to actually play it and optimize it, but also, like I said, I kind of just want to make one out of the Noctis, but I'm 31, and building a commander deck from scratch these days is like, oh, why do that? I could, but why do that?
It's tough. Because that's fucking 60 cards you need to find that all somehow support that commander.
And some of them are commander staples. Like, it'd still probably be somehow more cost effective to just buy the Y'shtola deck to get my command tower, to get my Arcane Signet, to get my
Soul Ring,
Opal Palace, Soul Ring. So it's like, I might as well buy
all
that.
All of those cards got to be like 25 cents each, though, right? Because they're in every commander deck that
they are, but think they never actually have to leave that commander deck and be sold as a single. Because anyone buying a precon probably needs that Soul Ring.
True. I guess.
I would actually have to check. Because I'm curious.
I'm going to check something else. You check.
I'm checking Soul Ring. If you want to check Arcane Signet. Okay, so I found one that's $1.38, but there's so goddamn many versions of it.
It's anywhere between like 85 cents and $1.60.
For what, Arcane Signet?
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a Fallout Soul Ring. No. I'm going to check the price of that one I lost. Just to break my own heart again.
What, the
Masterpiece Edition Soul Ring.
ooh, I want that now. And it's only $6, but, you know, I gotta have it. Jesus Christ, these fucking... Just give me the regular card. Okay. The regular command tower is 20 cents, but there's so many different arts of it over all the sets. The Final Fantasy full art one is the Crystal Tower. Look how awesome that is. The first option.
Holy shit.
It's only $6. I'll drop $6 for that.
I'm gonna cry.
Why?
A grade 9 Masterpiece Soul Ring.
Is that the card that you had that you lost?
Mm-hmm.
Show it to me.
It was like the only one I saw in that search so far. First result. 1,600.
You had that?
I had that from Kaladesh.
That's fucking brutal, dude. I'm so sorry.
It broke my heart. Again, I put it somewhere I thought would be safekeeping. Immediately, too. And then forgot about it. That is the only one here, too. That is wild.
Kefka's Tower is fucking... Well, I should say interesting, but it's Bolas's Citadel, and I never fucking heard of Bolas's Citadel, so... But it's pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah, that's the big problem, too, is, like, on a collector's side of things...
They make so many different versions of all of these cards now.
Yeah, the full art cards, though, are so...
Full art, borderless is... It's...
I have
special guests, because, like...
I have a few full art borderless cards that I got.
Doing that draft, I pulled one of the partner commanders that was like the other ones, where it's like skinned to be Final Fantasy with a different name, but it's from the commander set with the partner thing where it could be partnered with another partner as your commander, like my commander deck. And I pulled that from the regular packs doing draft. Cool. Like, I mean, for me, it's like I can't play this in standard too. You can play it in the draft that you pull it in, though. But it's like, but for a collector, that's kind of a nightmare. Because now you got to fucking hunt down what's essentially like a secret layer drop. Like your odds of pulling that are probably pretty close to my odds were pulling that Masterpiece Soul Ring.
Right. Yeah, that's unfortunate, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that card specifically would be expensive, but some of those guest cards that slide in with the super awesome arts are going to be crazy expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I pulled not I think the borderless, so it still has...
Ballistic Study alone is an incredible pull.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
So I have to stay with me. Full art. No borders anywhere, so it's just the full art with the text on it. It's $103 last I checked. And I pulled a full art bordered, so it still has the border where the text is, VV, and that's $65 to $75. I don't remember the price exactly. And I pulled just a standard Buster Sword, which is around $30, $35.
And how much did you pay for the box again?
$150.
Sorry, you're making me want to flip boxes.
And I mean, obviously, all the other cards I pulled, I pulled all like a bunch of $5 cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you definitely flipped it. Oh God. That price, bruh.
What's that?
I'm seeing like 170, 189 at TCG Player right now for a booster box.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Stay With Me that I have is 115 right now. Near mint. 29 of them for the 115. And it's actually, the prices vary from like 115 to like 140. God.
The collector's booster box is $430.
Ooh, for 30 bucks.
Yeah.
I assume just like, yeah, what is in those? Just all full art shit? Like,
Yeah,
what?
pretty much. It's increased full arts, pretty much. More mythics, more rares.
Oh shit, the VV card went up. Now it's $96. This is the VV I pulled. 96.
Holy shit. Yeah, I need to buy one of these boxes.
I'm tempted to buy another one, but I don't know if I want to spend the money. Especially because
The problem is you're not going to flip
I'm
it
not
unless you've
flipping
got multiples, and your chance of getting multiples of high value stuff is...
slim.
Yeah.
Very slim.
Yeah. Unless you sell Stay With Me to pay for, like, most of it.
But would I want to, though?
No, you wouldn't want to.
Oh.
If I pulled Stay With Me, I'd probably put it in Commander deck like the filthy pleb I am. Except in my flip brain set right now. Again, it's Ristic Study, though. That's the catch. Like, it's like pulling that fucking Soul Ring. It's like, oh.
But
Soul Ring, though.
Yeah, but it's Soul Ring.
It's Soul Ring.
I mean, the what's the card called again?
It's Ristic Study?
That card can't be worth $100.
No, but it's like at least worth like 40, I think.
If you just bought a standard version of it, no arch change, you know what I mean? Just a regular.
42.87.
Damn.
It's the one I sold. There's a $6.99 version.
A $6.99?
Yeah.
Let me see it. Is it like an older card where it's like a super weird black
Well, that's
border?
like the dual deck Z version, I think. I don't recognize the set symbol, to be honest.
All right,
I
so
don't
if you
even
want
trust
it, buy the $6 version and sell the $40 or $100 version.
Well, I did. So.
Well, yeah. Is that old? It goes back that far?
2000.
Damn.
Yeah. I really don't think that eBay one was real. Because I'm seeing, like, oh, some of these alt arts are like $63.99, $69.90. This is a $5.95, but again, I don't recognize some of these set symbols. So
all right, so that just means the Stay With Me is going to hold its value.
Oh, yeah, it's again, well, I see one, for Stay With Me, I see 130, 130. It absolutely probably will. Because I think most people are going to try to sell it. Like me.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it is some of the most beautiful art in, like, the whole goddamn set.
It literally looks like a HD screenshot of the scene put onto a card.
Yeah. And again, beautiful card, beautiful moment.
Yes. Oh. Maybe I buy another one, maybe not. But, like, here's the problem, too, though, because I didn't say nothing to her. I was just like, I just let my wife do what my wife did. But, because she bought, we went to the card shop 2 weeks ago. So, a week and a half ago. Not this past weekend, the weekend before. And we were able to get 4 packs, 2 packs each, and she bought the Y'shtola Commander deck. Right? So with the 2 packs I have, I put the stuff in this both booster box. I pre-ordered it myself. So I put all those cards in my binder or whatever. My wife, with her 2 packs, and she played with the Commander deck when we played Magic together. So she played with it, the cards, and she started putting the cards that she had in a binder of her own.
Nice.
So I'm like, does this mean you're trying to double up on everything that we have? But I didn't bring it up, so I don't know. I don't know how she'd feel if I bought another booster just for me. Because here's the thing, though.
I was just about to say we should hit a card shop this weekend.
Maybe. I'm actually pretty busy this weekend, but
That's fair. Well, my Sunday's busy too, so.
The problem is, I don't see why my wife should be obsessed with this, because she's only ever played one Final Fantasy.
To be fair,
And
I've
that's
only
14.
beaten like 2.
Yeah, but you've grown up with Final Fantasy. Just because you've only beaten them doesn't mean you haven't played like all of them.
Like half of them.
You've played one.
I played 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. But again, some of these, like, oh, well. Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus.
13.
12.
12.
13.
13-2.
Which is one I beat.
Yeah.
13-3. 14. Another one I say I beat.
You can claim that you're well into Shadowbringers.
Yes.
I played enough of that game.
I beat it, in my mind, 2 or 3 times over.
Yes.
15, 16.
Yeah, so you're already at 11 titles of the franchise.
Yeah.
That you've played. Plus Dissidia and Duodecim. And all of the Kingdom Hearts games that are heavily influenced and have...
My love for Kingdom Hearts is slowly coming back.
It's
it is amazing. I'm embracing it again.
I'd play
I love your stupid simplicity. Your overcomplicated simplicity.
Yes, I would play the fuck out of 1 or 2 again.
I would especially play 2 again.
1 is actually... When I went back... quote unquote went back to it. When I played the 1.5, 1 is really not that difficult to get used to. I was playing it again. It holds up still. It's definitely a game that you can go play.
Because I never beat 1 as a kid. This is going to be a sad admit. I was too stupid for Kingdom Hearts 1, but by the time 2 came around, I was ready to slap its ass. But I was also bringing the strategy guide to school just to read it.
Nice.
2, Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, I would all play again. Easy.
Yeah. I'd play Kingdom Hearts 3 again, but it's just so short. It makes me sad. Yeah. But I'd still play it again. The combat is just so smooth. It really is.
It's very cinematic.
Yeah.
I do want to still beat it. I haven't really spoiled much of it for myself yet, still, somehow.
I've also avoided saying much about it, too.
Which I appreciate.
Just because, dude, we used to have fucking, like, hour-long conversations about the plot of Kingdom Hearts and where we thought it was going to go.
And then Nomura kept adding to it.
Yeah. But I've played Final Fantasy 1. I beat Final Fantasy 1. 4. I've played a little bit of 6.
I gotta add tactics to mine, but continue.
Oh, yes. There's a new Tactics, or they're remaking a Tactics game?
Yes.
So I've played a little bit of 6. I'd say maybe like 2 hours worth. Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core 7. We've both seen the movie of 7 too.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites.
I played 8 a little bit, but I've tried so many times. I just do not like 8.
Me neither. I think I've stopped 8 at the point where you leave the first area and hit the world map. 3 separate occasions. I said I'm done.
I guess. So because you like the first thing you do, you go in the fire cave, you get Ifrit. Yep. Then you can do some other stuff. You get on a train, you meet Renoa on the train.
Never make it to that train.
Well, here's the thing though. So I made it on the train, right? Surprisingly, because I hate the combat system and the way you have to choose that you have to lose command. But you make it to the train, you come to your next town, and the painted backdrop was so bad, I could not figure out how to progress. I could not find the pixel to stand on to move to the next zone. So I quit and then never went back.
That happened to me with 7 once, but I actually got past it. You know when you fall down to the slums and there's like a junkyard section where you're walking up beams?
Yeah.
Every single time it takes me like a good solid 20 minutes to find which beam is actually like down to up.
You played Remake too, also. That counts.
Yes, I did.
I played
Remake. Play way more of it.
Remake and Rebirth.
I really want to play Rebirth. I need to check out
it is so fucking good.
Because I love Red 13. The moment they announced Red 13 is playable, it was like, Nanaki.
All of them. Even playing as Kate Sith is fun.
He looks fun. It's like it unlocked an avenue to make me actually like Kate Sith now. Because I do like the concept behind him.
Yeah. Now I'm hyped for the next one because I want to play as Vincent and Sid.
Vincent, my boy. I was always Cloud Vincent Red 13. True edgy boy.
I was always Vincent Tifa because, they force you to keep Cloud.
I had to put my boy ship with their pet. With the tri-boy ship.
There you go. And then I've played 9. I love 9. I played 10, 10-2, 12, played the shit at 12 for my first Final Fantasy.
I remember.
13, 13-2, and 13-3. I stopped at the final boss of 13-3. I fought it once, lost, and then just never went back to it.
Pretty sure 12 is how you got into JRPGs in general.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, because you played that at my house while I was sleeping, or...
No, I remember exactly what it was, because it was one of the times you brought your PS2 and a bunch of your games over to my house. And then you left them at my house for like weeks. And then
Sounds like me.
One Saturday morning, randomly, I'm just like looking for something to do, and I was sitting in my chair. I had this like a recliner type chair, but didn't recline, so just like like a love seat or whatever.
Yeah,
I had one of those in my own room, and I was sitting in it, looking at all the games, the PS2 games on the floor, and I was like, whatever, I'll try this Final Fantasy 12 game, and that was my life for the next God knows how long. I played every aspect of that game. I beat everything the game had to offer.
You literally looked up where the content was to go get that content.
Yeah. There's only one thing I can remember I didn't beat.
Chaos?
No, I beat... Oh, no. It was just a random hunt that is nice. You can see it. It's definitely a T-Rex model dinosaur thing that's inside of a tornado, and you have to do a quest to get rid of the tornado to go in there and fight it. And I looked it up, and it was like a level 30 thing. And I'm like, I'm level 99. I'm going to go in there and hit it twice.
I'll live without doing this one piece.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to go in there, hit it twice, and it's going to die. I fought Yasmat and Omega and fucking all these other crazy things. I'm good.
I kind of want to give 10 that kind of treatment, because I played 10 a lot, and I really like the combat system. But something always stops me along the way.
I played...
15,
obviously
16.
14. I've been playing the shit. I still played 14. 10 years, 12 years later. I've played 15 twice.
Hey.
Because I played 15 the day it came out.
Same.
I took the day off, and I beat it in 32 hours.
Oh my god.
I was so sad at myself.
You should have been sad with them.
Well, I was.
That game was unfinished at launch.
It was very unfinished. But with all of the additions that they've made to it, because like if you went to play 15 now, I'm pretty sure they just give you all the episodes for free now.
And that's amazing, first of all.
I've played episode Ignis and Gladios.
It's so sad because Prompto looks like the best one.
That's what I hear too. And they say Arden's pretty good too.
I watched a friend of mine play episode Prompto, and again, it looked really freaking good.
It does look good.
And they added all of the updates where you get to actually switch party members and stuff too, like who you're controlling, which
was not in the original game. You can do it through the whole game now.
And it makes
it's part of the game. When you start the first fight you go into with the tutorial how to fight is actually they just teach you. The first fight is probably because it's a just Noctis.
Yeah.
Just teaching how to play as Noctis. But
once
like
you
within
get the boy band together,
the first couple of fights you do. Well, the boy band, you start with pushing the car with the boy band. But you can almost immediately switch with everybody. It's so...
Yeah, I actually popped back on to play after those updates just to try it out, and it was really smooth. And the combat system always looked really good.
It's one of my platinums.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the only Final Fantasy game I have a platinum for. But I will say, I count 12. If 12 PS2 had a platinum, I would have it.
Yes, you
There's no way
would.
that dinosaur would have anything to do with...
If it did, you had gone through the trouble to do it.
Yeah. And obviously I played 16.
Yes.
And I want to actually play it again.
And both Dissidias.
And both Dissidias. And World of Final Fantasy. I played a little bit of that.
You know what?
The chibi one.
Same. No, I didn't play World of Final Fantasy. I played Crystal Chronicles, which wasn't that good. And then I also played the demo for...
Isn't there a rhythm game for it, too?
I played both Theatrhythms.
Oh, yeah.
Theater Rhythms, yeah. I played both of those, and they're very good.
It was on 3DS, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I played the other one with somebody. Which one am I trying to pull out of my brain? Because I had one more. Oh, yeah. No, I played the demo for Chaos. I have to kill Chaos.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I haven't played that.
Yeah.
Though I think I might because you can play as the Warrior of Light.
Hey.
So I've been looking at a lot of stuff. Like, they added a lot of stuff since launch, and I might end up playing it.
You should.
Because
The
the combat
bad.
looks pretty good. It's like a DMC type.
And it's a
game.
little Dark Souls-y, they say, but it was more DMC.
Yeah, more DMC.
And then there's still one more that... Oh, Type 0.
Oh, yeah. I never played Type 0.
I did. I wish I played more of it because the plot was really good, but the combat system was a little grating.
I wish we had access to it originally because we wanted to play that for so long. Cause
the hype on that first trailer?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, not only that, we knew about it for so long. It didn't come to the West for like 7 years after it released, right? It was multiple years later.
And we had a friend super excited for it because it takes place in Evilise.
Yeah. So by the time we even got the chance to play it, it was an old game with
jankier combat.
Jankier combat, yeah.
Because it was also made for portable, like PSP, I think, or Vita. And we got it on console.
Yeah. Same with the other... you played the other Dissidia, too. The third Dissidia.
Oh my god, I did.
I have it. Brand new in the case, and I never played
those servers are dead.
Yeah.
Those servers died.
A long time ago.
It went free to play for a while.
Another game, too, that just sucked was... Or, well, not sucked, but sucked that how it released because we were hyped as fuck when that trailer first came out, too. With 3v3s. And we lived, breathed, and slept Dissidia Duodecim.
It's true. And to be fair, I still stick up for that game a little bit. They changed everything that we liked.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was actually fun to play. The kits could have been better. But it was still pretty fun to play. I do not mind that they got rid of that goddamn equipment system, though. A fighting game should not have had a leveling system that friggin' in-depth with an equipment system that friggin' in-depth.
Yeah.
Because it's fun the first time.
Yeah.
But then think about when you lost your save data and you're like, I gotta copy yours because I can't not have all my equipment in levels.
Yeah. True that.
But yeah, we easily put in like 500 hours on like both of them.
Yeah, I mean, because I still occasionally play Duodecim.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Because I have it on my Vita.
I'm so jealous. We got so good at the friggin' game.
Yeah, I'm at like, I'm almost at 700 hours.
If there was a competitive scene for that game, we would have actually been like...
We would have been... That's the one game I can say that I was very confident in our skill sets.
We were like blocking like we could see the future. Like...
Yeah, no, we were definitely on that. It was good times, man.
They should just re-release those and give it online play and just wait the 7 months it's going to take people to actually grind out full characters.
No, because remember our friend made it and we you could make custom battles and get a character from level 1 to 100 in like 3 battles.
God, he's such a G.
Because you just, he had to get items for it, but you just put all the breakable...
like rings, I think
rings that give experience, and you just
set
their
it's
level
the
was
equipment
set.
That sucked.
Yeah, you set the NPC's level to like 100.
Yeah,
your level was very low, but you also put that item that starts you at like 1 health.
Yeah.
So you just go in there, do 1 bravery, health HP attack, and it's over, and you just gained fucking like 30 levels, and you do it again, another 30 levels.
True. Very true. I do miss it. Because that's what made me want to play the older ones to begin with.
Other ones, because it was probably my 3rd Final Fantasy. Well, because I played 12.
Oh, man.
And then one of the original Dissidia.
You want a fun fact?
Then like 7, because I played Crisis Core before 7, because I wanted to play it chronologically.
Nice. You want to guess my first Final Fantasy?
10.
1. An old school fucking Nintendo system. At my grandparents, though, and I didn't understand it.
Yeah, my first Final Fantasy I ever saw was 8. And I didn't know it was 8 for years and years and years.
It's like it's that game.
Until I got to 8 myself. And I was like, oh, hey, this is that game I saw when I was, like, mad young. I was like sleeping over my cousin's house, and we went next door to one of his friends' houses. His neighbor, like his friend or whatever, and he was playing it only for like 5 minutes though. So I saw like 5 minutes of Final Fantasy VIII, and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool." Little did I know that franchise would be.
It sucks because the story does sound good, and I am a sucker for love stories, but man, it just looks so brutal. And I knew someone that was their favorite.
Yeah, same. Oh, mutual friend.
I forget that about him. I knew a couple people that it was their favorite, actually.
Play the rematch. They just remastered it.
That doesn't fix all the gameplay weirdness.
It doesn't. No.
I hate the junction system.
I hate the magic system.
I don't mind draws.
I do. I hate it. Because then you got to go around finding, like, shit. I have to go fight the final boss, but I only have, like, 20 Kiragas. I need to go farm out max.
A bunch of Kiragas.
Yeah.
I hate the junction system because I already hate equipment systems. I find them very boring.
Right.
So that's just, here's an equipment system on top of your equipment system.
Yeah.
Let's make your cool summons also an equipment system.
You know, Final Fantasy is getting a lot of hate recently, though. A lot of people are comparing Expedition 33 and saying that, like, that... Again, I still haven't played it. And I know, like, nothing of it.
I've seen one clip.
I've seen a bunch of, like, people just comparing it to Final Fantasy and saying that Final Fantasy... Because Final Fantasy was, like, the prima
I see it compared to, like, Metaphor more often.
But everyone's, like, shitting on Final Fantasy. Like, well, Final Fantasy needs to step it up. I'm like, well, first off, 14's great. Everyone likes that. We don't like Dawn Trail right now, but not every MMO can slap it for fucking 12 years straight. You know what I mean? So we have a weak expansion, story-wise. Big deal. Then they're trying to say that, like, 16 was a letdown. I'm like, first off, 16 is a cinematic fucking masterpiece.
It looks gorgeous. I do regret not playing more of it.
And great characters, great story. You can maybe say there's not enough content in it, especially the end game. Whatever. It's not as Final Fantasy because it's more, again, than the DMC combat, but the combat's still great. And all the stuff, because the, like, Clear Obscure is taking all the leaps that Final Fantasy normally does. Each new Final Fantasy always tests the limits of things, or, like, introduces new things.
Or has a new idea. It's kind of like Nintendo does it.
Yeah. But, like, because reason I got on this topic was because, you know, how you can parry and dodge. It's an interactable turn-based game. Technically, 8 is too.
Yeah.
With all of the attacks, you can input attacks as it actually hits to do extra damage and stuff like that.
And they've transitioned to real-time combat over since fucking, like, God. They've been trying since 12, yeah. And I was actually about to say, too, people have been very, how do I put this? Because it's not, some of the complaints are deserved, granted, for longtime fans. But people have been really on a hate train for Final Fantasy since 12. Think about it. 12, 13, 13.2, 13.3, 15, and 16 all got their own forms of backlash.
Yeah.
Even though 13.2 is fucking amazing, and I'll hear absolutely zero revisionist history about that.
Agreed.
People loved Caius. The combat system slapped. They added Pokemon into a game that already has one of the best ranges of creature designs.
Yes. Agreed on every front. I love 12. I probably wouldn't like 12 as much if I played some of the other ones first.
12
because 12 is so different.
12 is one of the ones where it'd make a good book because they didn't devolve into a bunch of bullshit by the end. They played it very straight and narrow.
Kind of, but all the bullshit's in the corner over there and stays in the corner.
And they kind of just don't refer to it. It's the opposite of Kingdom Hearts.
They mention it because there are gods, the shady black figures that were behind Vayne.
You just don't fight God this time.
You just don't fight them. It's like, yeah, they existed, but we beat Vayne, so we're gung-ho, we're going this way.
We're not going to confuse you like 8 and 10. We got you this time, guys.
Yeah. But, it's
But to be fair, again, I don't know the full story of 15 and 16, but they also kind of read like good books to me. Like, they didn't devolve that hard. 15, I mean, a little bit, but they're really trying to play like a bleaker story. And then 16 came around and was like, we can do that better.
You know what I don't like about 15? That I wish they didn't do?
What?
The movie.
That was the most awkward part of that whole game.
Fucking movie.
Because the movie was good.
It's so fucking good.
It's so good. But then you go and play the game.
And it has nothing to do with the movie.
Not only nothing to do with it, but that point that happens in the story when you all go to bed and then it plays part of the movie because that's happening in real time. And then they wake up and they're like, oh, our home city fell to an invasion. I guess that's realistic to their perspective, but it was really janky because the movie came out first. So you got to see that whole event and then you go to play the game. And it's like, here's where that should have been.
Yeah, in the first 15 minutes of gameplay, you're past what happened in the movie type shit, and they never reference it again. But the movie makes it out, like, because I thought, with all of the trailers that you see, and then you see the movie, it seems like the Imperial Art City is going to play a much bigger role in the game, and it's just not that at all.
Especially going back to when it was called Versus, like, all of the trailers were in the city.
Well, in Insomniac.
Yes.
His city, not the Imperial one. The bad Imperial one.
Yeah, but Insomniac's the one falling that I'm talking about.
Yeah. So...
And that wouldn't have played as bad if the game came out first. So you get to see that as just a cutscene, and then they come out with a movie. But we got to see all those events. Then you play the game, it's just like, here's 5 minutes of this important country falling. Because it is important. That's your hometown. You barely even got to stomp in it.
Yeah, the only part that means anything is the item they're trying to protect throughout the game. And it gets given to Lunafreya, and then when you meet her in Altissia, she gives it to you.
Let's put it this way, like, Midgard wouldn't have been so important if you didn't have to spend hours in it.
You spend an entire game in it in Remake.
Yeah, but that holds up the importance of Midgard.
Yeah.
It makes it a real place. Insomniac, that's that off-screen place over there. My stomping ground is this featureless desert with maybe 2 dying trees.
Yeah, 15 just... You do go back to Insomniac at the end of the game. But it's a ruin...
Yeah, I was going to say it's post-apocalypse, right?
Yeah, because it's like 30 years later.
Brutal.
Yeah, there's a big time skip in 15.
At least, again, it's not like 8 where you have to actually, like, theorize what the plot is.
No, but if you just randomly skipped something and then, like, say you played the game, right? You played, like, 3 hours. Or even maybe you played 15 hours of 15. Then somehow you tuned into a stream and someone was fighting the last boss. You'd be like, what game is this?
That's a common Final Fantasy problem.
Well, the last boss, the final boss fight, it's just Noctis versus Arden, and it's straight up a DBZ fight. It's actually pretty cool. Though.
Every time Taboo Tattoo, it's just like that in Future Diary when they just change genres at the literal last minute.
Second, yeah.
Oh, sorry, it pains me that much. Because at least before, when you go to fight quote unquote God, it's usually a character you knew that ascended there. But then I think of like 13, where you really don't have a connection to the final bad guy, really.
In 13?
Yeah, it's called Orphan.
Yeah. In 13.3, you mean?
No, 13. 13.1.
Oh, well, it's the main Fal'Cie.
Yeah, but what kind of emotional connection do you have
emotional
to
connection, no. Story connection, I get why, because they're going through killing all the
Kefka's
Fal'Cie.
in his whole game when he becomes God, Sephiroth.
Well, because the problem with 13 is that the enemy is the looming threat in the background that you never ever see until you go fight. Yeah.
It's fight the power story.
Yeah, and fight propaganda oppression because people assume that everyone on Pulse is these demons and not knowing that, hey, they're just people.
They're just naturalists. Like...
Well, no, they're just people. Fang and Vanille are from Pulse.
Well, I also say naturalists because there's actual nature there.
Yes.
They just actually live one with nature.
Yeah, so they think they're all demons because of the propaganda of the Fal'Cie and stuff like that. So they eventually go and hunt down all the fal'Cie to kill them all, to get rid of the l'Cie stuff. But you're like, it's not like the fal'Cie are popping up and like causing trouble. It's like they're just going from fal'Cie to fal'Cie, killing them. And like, you know, it's not like Sephiroth.
Brings me back to like 13.2 and 13.3's effect on 13.1. Because it's almost like they knew that that was a problem, having like a faceless villain that's barely a character.
Yeah.
Because coming into 13.2, the plot's a little bit of a mess because it's time travel, but what made that game? Caius. Like villain with an emotional connection that they were able to set up so goddamn quickly. That game is not long.
It's not. And Caius literally is what holds that game together because he's the compelling villain to it. And
him, Noel, and Sarah do a great job.
Take Caius out, and the 13.2 actually just kind of just shits on 13's original setup. But Caius, implementing Caius in there makes it work.
Makes it
worth and kind of work a little better because now you kind of understand what's happening. And 13.3 just fucking ruins everything.
And yes, because it's a misery plot. It's just people wallowing in the fact that they're already lost. It's the post-apocalypse part of 15 and 6, but as its own game. And you have a shitty villain.
Yeah.
The world's most obvious, like, evil god.
Well, that's the problem, too, because it should have continued. Because 13.3 exists because of how 13.2 ended. Caius won at the end. He got what he wanted.
You know what it should have been?
And 13.3 should have been the whole gang gets back together to then go deal with a revised version. Go deal with the Caius situation.
Because Caius also wasn't too happy after. Because you know how you meet up with Caius? It should have been a revised gang. Get Lightning, Sarah, Noel. Or if you want to still keep Sarah gone, because she was like the MacGuffin.
That's kind of, but that's like, what is their reluctance to have Sarah and Snow together?
I know. Isn't that so sad?
Right?
Because they need something to dangle in front of like the cast. I would have preferred playing as Sarah, to be honest, because I really liked 13.2. I really like her character.
Well, because I like in 13 is that you can have whoever you want on the team. You're not forced to have Lightning on your team.
True.
You know what I mean?
I like that too.
And so do it the same way. So you have
3 should have been the greatest hits.
Well, because you're missing Fang and Vanille from 13. They're gone. Gone. They're never coming back. So you're missing 2 characters. Replace them with Sarah and Noel, and then bring back everyone from 13, and you have your full party again, and you choose who you want to play as.
Yeah.
And then you go through.
I was almost going to put Caius in there if they wanted to still take out Sarah because they need a motivation, but then it is a little more sausage festy.
Well, no, Caius wouldn't be on their side. He just wouldn't. He shouldn't have been.
Well, wasn't he just like Snow, where he's like, I'm just going to sit here and be miserable?
Well, that's because the shit writers are 3. What it should have been.
That's what I mean. They could have written him in, written it back to be like, hey, you want to get revenge against God? Because, I mean, do they really...
That's kind of what he did,
He didn't revel in his victory. He just wanted to do it to save... Oh, man. I'll never, ever pull that name out of my ass. The ones that... I think you're right. I'm going to...
It's Y something, I swear it starts with a Y, or there's a Y in it.
Yule.
I knew it.
Yeah, you only missed one letter. But, he only did it for Yule, so now that he's like a misery Gus, I feel like Lightning could have been like, hey.
He should have still been dead, though. It makes no sense that he's... Well,
he hated the goddesses, too. Like, he was fight the power, too.
It kind of makes sense because in the 13.3, time is all stopped, and Caius exists at all point in time. Just that one of the Caiuses died, and... the heart killed the goddess, so she's no more. And again, what's with the goddess? Like, what does she have to do with the god that is hope? Hope god.
Yeah.
How is he related if Caius died kills the goddess?
They completely fumbled hope so hard. They fumbled hope so goddamn bad. I'm mixed.
Like hope.
You hate people that leave a bad first impression, first of all. It happens a lot.
I do.
Because you really liked Future Hope.
Did I?
Academia Hope?
Oh, no. You know what it is, actually? I hate children in video game and manga.
Because he was whiny and entitled.
Anime.
Boo-hoo. Again, see Hope's side. Boo-hoo, I watched my mom die. You didn't like him because you blamed Snow, even though Snow tried to save her.
Not even just because of that. He's a fucking whiny bitch through the whole entire game.
That's why Academia Hope was like the best though, because it was that moment where he's like, "Yeah, bitch, I'm in charge. I got all my shit together."
And it makes no sense because he saw his mom die, and he saw that Snow tried to save her. He literally grabbed her arm. He was holding her, and then she fell.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's his fault.
It's trauma, you know.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but
they're in the middle of a battle.
Whatever. I'm not going to get too hard on that one.
No, but again, all of this could have been saved if in 13 they didn't go, "Hey, let's wipe his whole personality away for no reason. We'll make a reason, but the real reason is we don't want to write for Hope."
Yeah, well, either
and
way.
We're gonna make him God. But yeah, it should have been like
13-3 is shit. It's the weakest Final Fantasy.
It is. And with the dress-up
Hands down.
system, after a time travel story, it could have been a slam dunk with a party. Like, imagine you just turn Hope into Academia Hope. Like, it writes itself, but they just wanted... I almost call it laziness, because they just wanted to only program Lightning. I feel like it was a time saver.
Yeah, and I hate that the game times you.
Oh, I forgot about the time system. That was...
You can fail the game if you're not... So you feel like you're playing... The whole time you're playing the game, you feel like you're rushed.
And that you're going to miss stuff.
Yep. So, fuck that game.
I hate games that make me feel like I need to bust out the strategy guide. Not because I'm stuck or anything, but because I actually have to plan out all my actions.
Yes. There's a bunch of other ones I want to play. Someday I'll get back to them. Like, I do want to play 10-2.
I want to get back on Bravely Default, which is actually by the same people. That game was really good. It's pretty much what if we did Final Fantasy V, but good.
I want to try 5, but the main cast would... But again, it's 5. It's an older game.
You would actually like the main cast, besides Bart's, because he's like the blank slate main protag, pretty much.
Yeah, I know like next to nothing about 5.
I don't know if they reveal something about Bart's that gives him character, but I know there's a cross-dressing female pirate, monk dude that lost his memory in a princess early on. I don't know if there's more party members than that.
You need to get past the chibi designs of 9 and just play the glory that is 9.
I know, but I really hate the aesthetic of 9. I really do.
I love it. And I want them to remake it.
And everyone loves it. 6 and 9 are some of like the most favorited Final Fantasies.
And obviously 7, but...
Yeah, that goes without saying. And sadly, 8. Sadly to us.
Yeah. I don't think 4 gets enough credit. I think 4 should be in the same discussion.
Yes, because it's one of the first ones that really got ambitious with having a plot that's actually worth telling.
Yeah.
To be blunt.
I still want to try 2. I own 2.
That's the real first one that tried having a plot at all. Because I won't call 1 or 3 a plot, really.
No, plot in 1 is, hey, there's a demon. Hey, go collect these 4 crystals. Bring him to this power. You go back in time and you fight the demon and his full thing.
Done.
And
again, to counter my own point, is really just we're rebelling against the Emperor. Emperor bad, grr, resistance.
Kill the Emperor. He comes back from hell as a demon.
Bing, bang, boom. That's why I say 4 is the real one that tried having an actual plot with characters.
Yes. And it's so good. So good. So good.
I do need to give that a try someday. But the one, if I ever go back to a Pixel one first, it's going to be 6.
I just need to finish 6 or play 6. I'm not far into it.
I'd also still recommend 5 because it was the first one that actually had a job system. I still kind of want to know what's up with X-Death. I want to know if he's just a boring villain or not. I mean, he was a tree, so he probably is just a boring villain.
Probably you're going to see Gilgamesh much more.
But I came for X-Death.
Yeah,
I know.
But you're going to get Gilgamesh.
I know.
Because...
I've tried 4 twice. No, 5. 5 twice. Well, both times I get my boat, and then I'm like, I'm done. What? The world maps are a problem for me, I think. I don't think I like world maps that much.
They're a little tough to navigate at times.
Like even 7, that's where I like really just threw it all down. Was going around the world map. Oh, I hate this shit. Maybe I should play 16 more. I know it has a world map, but it's like baby's first world map.
Yeah. Not 16's great, dude. You should definitely play it.
I definitely should, because I like Devil May Cry. And I think Devil May Cry's plot is ass. So, I mean, it's what I was asking for. Yeah. Devil May Cry with a plot I give a shit about. Devil May Cry that's not, I have daddy issues and brother issues again.
You know what's infuriating, though?
What?
On a total, well, not a total segue, but off of Final Fantasy, but still on games. There was a PlayStation showcase, an Xbox, PlayStation State of Play, Xbox showcase, PC Gaming showcase, Summer's Game Fest, and a future, it's like feature games.
Future game show, yep.
5 different game shows. I miss E3, man. Bring E3 back where everybody came to one fucking location and everything was shown in one event. You know what I mean?
You told me Silk Song not only got its release date narrowed, because...
no, they some...
did they confirm Christmas? Because that picture you said this holiday. Which one?
But they didn't show any trailers for Silk Song anywhere.
To be honest, that's a little fine. Every time I do get excited to see it, but I kind of want to see as little as possible. Like, I am so glad. I mean, I spoiled stuff for myself in Hollow Knight just looking it up, because there's so much to miss in Hollow Knight, but I'm so glad I didn't spoil that much of Hollow Knight for myself. So I really, really don't want to spoil Silk Song for myself.
Right.
But I was going to wonder, did you watch all of those shows?
Yeah.
Can you tell me if there was more Slay the Spire 2?
Nope.
God fucking damn it. Those are the 2 right there. Silk Song and Slay the Spire 2.
I was hearing people saying the Xbox showcase was good, and I watched it, and I was like, this is not good.
Oh, sorry, there's a third game too, but I forgot the name of it. It's the...
There's like, out of all of those, there's 4 games I'm interested in.
Damn.
There's a lot of slop. A lot. The PC gaming show was fucking ass. There wasn't a single game I gave 2 shits about the entire show.
I need to give it a watch for myself. Because what kind of slop are we talking?
Who are you showcasing this game for? Not gamers. Like, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody I saw ever. I was like, oh my god. Okay, so the PC game, there was one game everyone was... Every comment was like... Fucking chat just talked about whatever the game was.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. So there was one game that's all people ever cared about. And everything else nobody talked anything about. I don't know what the game was, though.
So there's one other game I am excited for, even though I shouldn't be. It's from the people that made Quap and Only Up and Getting Over It. So another rage game where you're just walking, but walking's hard.
Oh, God. Isn't a climbing game that I saw is like, you're a mountain climber and that's it. There's a game that all you do is you're a shepherd herding sheep.
That doesn't sound that bad.
That's it.
You really underestimate my capacity for simple games. I love simple games.
That's nuts. That's too simple.
You should see my face when I play Loop Hero. Like, I fucking love fucking just, here's your gameplay loop. Play. Like Card Shop Simulator, that shit's cathartic to me.
Like, none of the big titles on Xbox had anything. There was no Gears, there was no Halo mentioned, no
well, they don't know how to make money.
There was nothing there.
They don't know how to make money. And to be fair, when they touch those big titles, they seem to ruin them. Like, I still don't hear anybody really care about Halo Infinite.
I will tell you, though, based on... Oh, and everybody has a fucking handheld now. Xbox revealed I don't know if...
Oh, yeah, because I'll try to compete with Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll fail. Gabe's the ultimate champion. No one's going to fucking remove Gabe from his throne. CEO of Valve. Oh. So, well, Steam.
I will say, in the future, though, I think Xbox Xbox is moving so that all of the hardware or software, whatever you want to call it, all of their components is set up for cloud gaming. And cloud gaming is the future of gaming. Yeah. It's just happening. And Xbox just has such a... Nobody else is doing anything with it. Xbox is moving like all their shit to that. So whenever cloud gaming does... The technology for it does land, Xbox is going to be there to capitalize the fuck out of it. Yeah. So
I bet Steam will be too, though. Again, Gabe's never far behind the trends.
We'll see.
They already have the handheld. All they'll have to do is put out another one. They have one of the best VR machines, too.
Well, I lied. The Xbox Showcase was very valid, for one thing. Persona 4 Rival.
Oh, yeah.
Revival, rather.
Let me look up lists.
Alright, you get the... Which one are you going to look up?
You get the Xbox One, I'll get Future Game Show.
Okay. Showcase. Oh, bitch.
Pathfinder game. Well, I see the word roguelite already, so... I don't know, man.
Roguelike?
Yeah.
That name's been dropped everywhere, dude. I'm just so tired of it.
It's like my favorite genre. It's quite literally.
But they just throw it at games, and it's like, all of these games are like 7 different genres different from each other. How are they all called a roguelike? Fuck out of here.
It's mechanics. It's less about like themes and stuff like that, and more about how the game works. It's permadeath. So when you die, you start over. Randomness. In general. Usually random power-ups or like things that make each run different. So different map layouts, different items, different power-ups that you'll run into. And that's pretty much it for things that people, for at least what people can make a consensus of what a roguelike is. Because let me tell you, there's like 2-hour videos debating what a roguelike and a roguelite is.
Alright, so I got the list here for Xbox.
I'm still looking through this one because the PC one's mostly for indies.
The Outer Worlds 2, High Life 2, Grounded 2, Planet of Lana 2, Renaissance: A Plague Tale Legacy. Those is
Plague Tale's popular. You would have. You should at least look at Plague Tale 2.
Well, I know the first one that came out. I was kind of interested in it, but it's just a puzzle. It's just a very cinematic puzzle game. That's all it is. There's no like combat or anything. I
think 2 might. But I can't say that for sure. I didn't play them.
Lies of P actually looks pretty good, and I've been thinking about that. But
you should play that. That's pretty much a Bloodborne spiritual successor, where you play as female Pinocchio. 007 for a PC game show. That trailer looked good.
True, but that was also at what was the game show that happened like 2 weeks ago? 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Was it this game show? PC game show?
No, because that happened like 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, then probably the PlayStation one?
Maybe. I don't know. New titles: Beast of Reincarnation, Invincible vs. Clockwork Revolution, Renaissance: Plague Tale Legacy, Super Meat Boy 3D.
Oh, shit.
The Blood of Dawnwalker, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Mudang 2 Hearts, Animo, Alpha Lion, At Fate's End, Keeper, Gears of War Reloaded, Persona 4 Rival, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Final Fantasy 16, Mortal Shell, Death Stranding 2, Code Vein 2, Dune Awakening.
Ports.
And this says updates and releases. Call of Duty 7. I don't remember that being there. Ninja Gaiden was there. I don't remember Gears of War E-Day being there. Perfect Dark, Metal Gear Solid Delta, and Rogue Xbox Ally. Oh, the handheld.
Oh, it says Rogue. Oh, yeah. Damn it.
ROG. Oh. It's the Xbox Ally X handheld.
Sorry, I'm also looking at this trailer for this roguelike. Just for, again, a nice little history lesson. They're called roguelikes because there's an old computer game. I think it's made in what's called ASCII, where everything is just like old school computer symbols, like the walls in the game of the dungeon are zeros. Mm-hmm. And there's little symbols. So it's a very text-based game, but they're called roguelikes because they all took inspiration from that. Where every time you boot up the game, the map is different. What you run into is different. Oh, this looks fucking lit. What? Sorry, it was still cinematic trailer. I look back down and it's fucking gameplay. So you aren't wrong, though. The word roguelike doesn't tell you jack shit about the game you're going to play. Because...
Oh, Future Game Show showed a 7 Deadly Sins game that doesn't look half bad, but I'm not going to spend the money.
I'm not falling for it again. They have to slap the word roguelike on it for me to come in.
Like, dude, I'll show you it. I mean, I'll skip through it, but, like, the combat didn't actually look half bad. See?
Good combat's not enough for me anymore.
It's not... I mean, again, I'm not going to buy it. I'm just saying that it looks pretty decent for an anime game. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm happy it doesn't seem like another fighting game, at least.
No, it definitely looks like
an actual adventure game.
Yeah. Witcher 4 looks great. Definitely getting that. There was one game that I saw, too. I forget which one it was at. Oh, it's on the PlayStation one.
Oh, I'm definitely buying this roguelike also.
Where is it? Game list of mine.
You didn't see me play it, but fucking...
Chronicles Medieval.
Sounds good. Like, medieval? I'm there.
It's the Chronicles series. I guess it's a series or whatever, but I saw tactical combat with AAA games fucking, like, Age of Empires, but good graphics and
nice
individual character. Like, so, like, at the end of the trailer, it shows some gameplay, and you're riding up on a horse, your character, and you have a huge army with you, and you come over the crest of the hill, and there's an army waiting for you at the other side. So I'm like,
I'm in.
I'm here for it. Oh, and that Greek, the Greek ARPG I told you about, that's Diablo, but with Greek gods and Greek aesthetic.
Perfect. Because, just on roguelikes again, this is why you need 2 genre qualifiers, because Hades is a Diablo-like roguelike. Because the combat plays like Diablo, but the game systems are all roguelike.
Is Rogue a game?
Yes, I was just saying that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the name of it?
Yeah.
I remember you saying I didn't...
Yeah, that old school computer game was called Rogue, so they very lazily, just like how when Doom first came out, everything that aped Doom was a Doom-like.
Yeah, or Souls-like.
So they just haven't made like a...
And then Blizzard's
a proper name
attempt to try and get Diablo-like to catch on.
Yes. And then everyone's like, Exile likes.
Yeah. PoE likes.
You know, they all came from Diablo 2, so... But it's Blizzard's own fault for trying to whip that out way too late.
Yes. It's an ARPG, but...
It's an ARPG. I'm surprised roguelike still stuck, because they should all be called Isaac-likes, because Binding of Isaac is the real culprit behind all of the roguelike explosions. Binding of Isaac looked at Rogue and was like, I could do that, but with like a Zelda-like shooter, where you're going through dungeons. It's a traumatized kid going through the basement of his like abusive mother's home, fighting through poops and vermin with his tears as bullets.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up game.
Sounds it.
And the first of many final bosses and many routes you can take in Isaac, that game got so abundant with content, is how I'll put it. But the first like boss that you can beat is your mother. It's like literally like feet coming down from it, like the eyeballs poke out the doors and shit. It's wild. It's a very grotesque game though for something so simple and cutesy. There's poops everywhere. Happy poops.
Just means I'm gonna have to move up my metaphor.
Yes, for your taste, you should be playing Metaphor. But again, whenever you make a pit stop, you'll like Hades.
Maybe.
You
But
definitely would.
what I was trying to get to is because I need to get Metaphor in and out of my system, and then so I have a long enough break so that I'm ready for Persona 4.
Yes,
So
because you are going to get tired of JRPGs eventually, sir, when you back-to-back them.
Well, back-to-back the same style games, which is why I haven't played Metaphor yet, because I was playing Persona 3 Remake, Reload, and I didn't want to play a Persona game and then go right into another Atlas Persona game that's not Persona, but it's basically Persona.
But you even jumped away from turn-based for a little bit because you've been playing Oblivion.
Yes, but, well, here's my problem with the Oblivion right now, is because I got burnt out in Oblivion. I forced myself to finish the story. I got the trophy, Platinum Trophy, and I dipped, but my son loves watching me playing it, so I got Tainted Grail Avalon's Fall, which is just straight up Skyrim / Oblivion ripoff, with a darker, like Dark Souls theme on it.
I remember you showed me a little bit of it.
It's the game I was just playing when you got here. And I'm playing that, but my son also wants me to play Skyrim, so I downloaded Skyrim because it was on sale for 75% on PS5.
They got him again.
So I was like, I'll pay $10 for Skyrim.
They got him again. Todd does it again.
Todd does it again. He got $9.99 out of me.
For how many times?
I bought it on PS3 when it first came out. I bought the special edition on PS4, and now I bought a $10 one on PS5.
Well, didn't you buy the anniversary edition when it came out because it added fishing?
No, that was an update.
Okay, good.
No.
Good.
That was I logged in one day when I was playing it. I just happened to be playing it because it had like a resurgence or something, I guess.
Yeah, because
so
of
Todd
that.
Was like, "Oh, let's fuck with."
They
these
needed to
guys.
break someone's mod again, so they added fishing.
Yeah, probably. And it fucking corrupted my save file.
Yep.
So he did.
Oh, Todd.
So I stopped playing it. But my son would love me playing Skyrim because he loves watching me. So much so that
He might like watching Metaphor. I mean, the turn-based part's gonna be boring, but it's very bright. It's a lot to look at. It's a lot of talking, though.
He hates talking.
Oh boy.
He gets so mad.
Oh no.
He gets so mad when I go to vendors in Oblivion just to sell the excess gear that I have on me to make some gold. He's like, "Can we go fight some monsters now?" I'm like, "Buddy, we can't carry this stuff." Like he wants me to pick up everything, but then I gotta go sell it. And I'm like, "Listen, buddy, I can't just pick up everything. I'm gonna become over encumbered. I gotta sell this shit or get rid of it." Sometimes he'll like ask me to pick up a bunch of stuff, and then when he's not looking, I'll just drop it quick and then run away. So like he can't see that I dropped everything on the floor.
Yeah, it still just goes right to your feet.
Yeah, because the fucking weight system in Oblivion is fucking outrageous. Outrageous. Fucking two-handed weapons weighing fucking 96 pounds.
Fair.
I'm capped out on minus enchantments and just enchantments. I'm capped out on the strength, which is tied to how much weight you can carry.
Yeah.
It's 500 and something pounds. Okay, so, but, like, the chest piece of a heavy armor set weighs fucking, like, 75 pounds, and then a two-handed weapon can weigh anywhere from 90 to, like, 110 pounds.
That's pretty crazy. Like,
and then the rest of the heavy armor set, and then you're gonna want a shield, probably.
Like, you would need two people to put your armor on for you.
Yeah.
It's like...
I mean, I'm sure that there's a perk in the heavy armor tree section somewhere that, like, later on...
Well, I was comparing it to reality.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they want to try to play Weight Simulator, they could play Weight Simulator if they want, but, like... I don't think my chest piece would weigh 110 pounds.
No.
I know what 110 pounds feels like.
Especially, like, I'm thinking, like, okay, what if I just played this game as a warrior with heavy armor and two-handed? I'm not going to be able to pick anything up because as soon as I get my heavy armor and equipped it and my two-handed, I'm like max capacity already. You don't start the game with 500 fucking pounds carry weight. You start it with like 100 and something.
Let's be fair, you also don't need to be a tycoon. Picking up everything and selling it, and having an infinite amount of money that is way over what you need.
Yes, I do.
That's... So you're the reason.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you start the game with like a 175 pound limit. how do you play a warrior?
You build your way up in that strength tree, boy, to get some armor.
So you're going to spend most of the early game not wearing armor because you're literally not capable of equipping everything because of the weight capacity?
Yeah, you just swing your big cudgel and earn that armor.
But there's no perks to lower armor. Maybe at like fucking like 75 in heavy armor.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, neither do I. I didn't play that class, so. But ridiculous.
No. This is why I like roguelikes. I could just get in a whole, what feels like a whole RPG into like 30 minutes for me, because I get so bored sometimes playing long games. Like 15, I just stopped because I just got bored.
Too much social media. Doom scrolling in 30 seconds. Attention spans have waned.
It's the combat system not changing all that much.
This is a you problem, though.
Is it? Like, the numbers go up has never been appealing for me. And like,
you just said it right there, though, for you.
For me.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it in a negative connotation.
Well, I'm still calling it not a problem. Is me. Like, I'm not going to break through that barrier. If I'm going to play an 80-hour game and the combat's going to feel the same from like hour 8 to hour 80, it is a problem for me. I do just get bored.
Well,
take 15 for example. Like, it's not like the magic system evolves. It's most of what you can do in 15 you can do by hour 8. The biggest difference is the Royal Arms, which I was farming the shit out of before I got bored.
Well, at least in 15, you can just like switch it between the 4 characters. Now. And again, you're playing it, it's for the story, really. But the good thing is, like, 16, that shit evolves throughout the whole game because you're always getting new eidolons.
That's why I need to play 16, too. Yeah. That one, again, was tailor-made for me. It's get me to the good bits. Not, here's a shitload of road in featureless desert between you and where that story takes place. By the way, here's some important equipments in that cave over there, in this cave over here. That's why I need to play the 7 remakes too, because again, the good bits, not where the fuck am I going on this world map right now.
Well, the 7 Rebirth has that, because Rebirth is more of an open world.
But I'm sure it's at least
it's so
more clear where I should be going.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get a thing and it literally tells you on the map we're going over here.
Yeah, not to ask to be Ubisoft handheld, but I'm kind of asking to be Ubisoft handheld sometimes.
Well, I mean, I feel like every game now just literally has an icon where to go. You just follow the marker.
True. I mean, Elden Ring, you at least make your own. Like, I was doing well with Elden Ring's way of, like, parsing out the side content, even though it does it the complete opposite. It's, hey, you find it or you don't, buddy.
Yeah, Elden Ring is literally, you look at the waypoint and it literally shows you which way to go, and you just go in that direction. You just keep walking until you find the next one.
Main content.
But then side content, you just, here's a dungeon. You go clear through the dungeon, you fight the boss, and you get some cool thing. Or like, there's some secret magic hidden behind some pathway, you know what I mean? It's not like, even side quests are just like, oh yes, there was this dung master guy I knew about somewhere, and then 80 hours in gameplay later, you find him in the fucking sewers somewhere, and you're like, oh hey, I didn't know this was a quest.
See, and that's something 7 does really well. I was just thinking about it, 7 and Elden Ring, why I can get through more of that than your average RPG. And it's because at least, even though the combat, when from like an overhead view, doesn't change that much throughout the game, your encounters change it at least. 7 has some of the best random encounters Square Enix has ever done. Like, you actually really got to think about what you're fucking doing for some of those. Well,
see, this is always my kind of counter, because I mean, I did the same thing, but people say, oh, I can't do, X game because the combat's the same at hour 8 to whatever, like you said. Yeah. Then why do you play, 8 hours of Apex Legends?
Because it's different every time I play.
But it's
the
not
roguelike effect. No, it is, though.
The only reason
the first things I find, the people I run into,
it's the same thing, though. The combat doesn't change. It's a gun. You're shooting people.
Well, there's like 15 different guns. And again, you're making the most out of what you get, which is what the roguelike effect.
But that's what the story elements of an RPG is, because same thing with like Overwatch. You're like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of different heroes. Yeah, but you've played that one hero 17 billion times.
To be
each
fair,
one.
am I still playing Overwatch or Apex?
But how many hours have you put in each?
Way more than any RPGs.
Exactly.
Because again...
And RPGs are way shorter.
But the combat... When I play 15...
But the story, so
let's
that's
go back
thing,
to 15.
Okay, let's go to 15.
How many encounters do you remember? How many actually engaged you needing to think about the fighting you're doing? This is my same problem with Kingdom Hearts 3. The combat's so piss poor easy that I don't have to think about what I'm doing when I'm playing gameplay. If I just spam X and then hit triangles when triangles pop up, Kingdom Hearts 3 beaten for the most part. Besides the DLC stuff where they added challenging fights because they knew that was a problem.
Okay, but that's irrelevant because, every fucking Mario game is easy as fuck.
Is it?
Ever since Mario Maker, and now everyone is gods at Mario, every official Mario game...
You're not.
Every official Mario game, or Donkey Kong game, or fucking... all these, like, Astrobot is simple as fuck, but everyone loves Astrobot.
And none of those have stories.
Exactly.
But that's what I mean. I'm just be a not story gamer. Like, okay. I don't...
So you're saying that
RPGs
just because
don't challenge me enough. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's not true.
Is
There's
it?
Plenty of hard RPGs.
I mean, there are, but I never stopped an RPG. I really want to think about it before I say it.
Bloodborne. That's an RPG.
Well, let me finish my sentence. But you did nail a perfect counter to the end of my sentence. Let's put it that way.
Stopped an RPG because
I was stuck on an encounter. Bloodborne.
Elden Ring. Valbon.
Yes, but I mean, I did go to the Atlas Plateau. No, I'm in the Atlas Plateau. Yeah. Like, I'm right outside Lindell.
Well, that's the whole thing that people say about the easy part of Elden Ring compared to other Souls games is because if you get stuck on a boss in Elden Ring, you can just go somewhere else and do something else.
And then over-level it.
You can't do that in other Dark Souls games because it's like that boss is stopping your progression.
Which I do think is better design for, like, challenging the player. But again, that's what I mean. I just, like, again, I keep going to 15 because it's like the ultimate example of where boredom really, really gripped me out of a game. And again, the story problems. To be fair, most of what I played at 15 was on the original version. Mm-hmm. I only came back to play around with the combat improvements. But even then, I was like, okay, I played Prompto for like 10 minutes.
Well, even to start the whole story, like they added like 15 hours of story to 15.
Yeah, but even on principle, I think I was pretty fucked. Like,
well, I mean, I'm not 15. Trying to say you have to play 15. You have to play this.
Once I heard that they cut out a chunk of story to sell as DLC, I was already pretty sour. When they started putting out the episodes for that chunk of plot that they very intentionally left out to add the episodes.
I don't think it was intentional at all.
I think it was.
It wasn't, because I've heard the whole plot story. Because when Nomura got kicked off of it, they told the new guy, you have to get this game out in 2 years, and he had to change the entire game.
Yeah, but did they tell him that and say, and we plan to sell DLC off of it?
No, they said, you're getting this game out by this point, and you have to get it out for this. Because that's what's wrong with Wilds right now. The reason the PC performance issues are in Monster Hunter Wilds is because Capcom told the Monster Hunter devs, you need to have Monster Hunter released in the first quarter of 2025 for our fiscal year to make money.
Yeah.
Because Capcom has promised their investors a 10-year growth.
My favorite word.
Yeah, I know. A 10-year positive growth in revenue every year, meaning you make more money this year than last year, and then next year more than this year, that.
The myth of infinite growth that every company...
Yes. And to make that, they needed Wilds to drop in quarter one of 2025. So the PC side wasn't
They got it worked for them, though, because Wilds fucking... I'm assuming it did well enough.
It did very well, but...
Well enough's a relative term to investors.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did fantastic. It did what they wanted it to do. They made more money this year than they have any
Previous
of the
year.
other
So they won.
years. But on Steam, it has a like a
Mixed review.
because of the PC side. But the consoles, no one has issues on consoles. It's all lower end PCs have fan issues and shit like that. But so the same thing happened with 15, where they needed to get it out within a certain fiscal year so that Square Enix could prove to investors that they're still making money.
Yeah.
And because of that, it came out unfinished. And even the director, he said apologies, and that's why he was committed to sticking with the game. They updated a single-player game RPG over the next 2 years.
That is a big first. They do take their mainline numbers very seriously.
Yeah,
so.
giving it content to really make us... And then re-released all of that as a one-bundle game afterwards. Like, here's the full package.
Yeah, but as the people that played along the way, it's like, here's that part of Gladio that wasn't in the story. Money me. Here's that part of Prompto that wasn't in the story. Money me. Here's that part of Ignis that wasn't in the story. Money me. Oh, you had problems with the ending? Here's that part about Arden that wasn't in the story. Money me. Royal Edition now. Money me again for the upgrade, even if you already own it.
See,
and they need to get paid. Don't get me wrong.
I get it, but I also have absolutely no sympathy for anybody complaining about microtransactions.
No, and I don't complain about it because I'm a victim of it, and I know I dug my own grave with that. Because
they exist because of... I don't know how true this is. I think it exists because of Oblivion. I think Oblivion...
No, it is true. Oblivion is the first microtransaction. They sold horse armor for like $15. And ever since, it has been a spiral.
So...
Because it worked.
Microtransactions exist because you buy them.
Yes. Well, they exist because the collective does now. Because we have no more power. We lost the moment that horse armor was popular.
Yes. But that's what I mean. If nobody bought that horse armor, they're like, oh, okay.
It never would have gotten this bad.
Nobody likes us trying to add more extra. Because like 97% of like all DLC or microtransactions in every game ever is completely, utterly useless.
Yes. But the dirty secret the gaming industry doesn't want people to think about is they keep using this word cosmetic only as if cosmetics don't matter. But even in a single player game like Oblivion or Skyrim, people love customizing how they look. Cosmetics do matter. It's the visual feedback and its self-expression that's literally what matters the most to most people. It don't
matter in Overwatch.
No, it doesn't. And it doesn't matter in Apex either, to keep it straight.
Single person that buys a skin in a first-person game, I'm sorry, I know.
Keep going. You can keep saying it.
You are the dumbest person in the world to me. You changed the color.
You didn't have to be that harsh. You could have brought it back like 20%.
You changed the color or maybe the shape of the gun you stare at.
For Apex, yeah, because you could get skins for all the different types of guns that you pick up. Because again, in Apex, it's not like Overwatch where you load in as a character and you have a specific gun. Again, my favorite thing about roguelikes, so I like it about Battle Royales, you're working with what that run gives you first. Or at least what you can find. Because everything's randomized when you load in. At least Apex has like 5 different maps. But yes, cosmetics are completely useless.
I mean, listen.
Paladins. Valorant. Just to throw more into this bucket.
Because even in Rivals is first person too, right? Or is
third person?
All third person? So that would make sense.
And it's all from comic books or original designs, and the rival skins are incredible.
But you can see the skin.
Yep. Some have changed effects and voice lines, kind of like Smite too. So it's also like they pump value into them, and you can see them.
Yeah, and honestly, skins just are. I know. I'm not.
And you're slightly hypocritical.
I'm not well, yeah, because I bought skins, but not in first person.
No, but I mean,
First person option.
Just to drag you into this fire a little bit.
No,
know.
I buy microtransactions too, but I'm saying in the first person thing,
Yeah.
where you can't see the cosmetics that you are purchasing, what is the fucking point? There is no point. You're spending money on something you literally do not see. But those skins are way overpriced too. And I get it. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a game dev. But like, it just boggles my mind that people try and really claim that it can take anywhere from like 3 to 6 to 9 weeks to make a skin, and sometimes up to 6 months.
Overwatch can eat my asshole. Their mythic skins they claim take like a year to make.
That's bullshit.
No.
There's
no way.
You're making a model.
Yeah, there's no way.
And some of them...
in one of the biggest companies.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even claim it that it's like a lack of workers. That's your own fault if it is, first of all.
Okay, so how about this then, right? Well, Smite 1. We'll take Smite 1, for example, just because it's a game that I play. Smite 2 is different. But kind of not really, actually. Smite 2 has the benefit of their porting gods from Smite 1, but they still have to remake the models because they're bringing it from Unreal Engine 3 to 5, and you can't just, drop into... They're not compatible. So they have to rebuild the model from scratch, and they put a god out every 2 weeks.
Yeah, they got the good work ethic at least.
And every 2 weeks is an update right now in Smite, and every new patch comes with 3 or 4 skins. Yeah. And they just laid off half of their fucking dev teams.
Oh, the game industry.
So I'm sitting here and be like, so every 2 weeks, you can bring a completely new model. Because, I get it, you're not from scratch. You're
also,
basing it on
a little
something
fair,
new.
too, it's not nearly as detailed as some of these, like Apex. You highly underestimate how fucking beautiful the average Apex moment even looks. Like, those maps don't fuck around, dude. I get blinded by how, like, radiant and bright some of them are.
No, that's just dumb if it's too bright.
It is too bright for some of them.
But no, even like Marvel Rivals or...
Yeah, Rivals is closer art, like...
or Overwatch.
Demand-wise.
I'm just saying, all of those skins, you're taking a model, say you're just any character, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You're designing a brand new skin for especially Spider-Man. Spider-Man skin should be the easiest thing to do because all of his skins are coming from the comic book and it's just a different color palette.
Yeah.
Maybe the spider on his suit is shaped a little different.
Some different shapes too. Like, sorry, there's a really dope Spider-Punk skin, but yeah, your point still stands.
So you add in polygons to a model.
Yeah.
And then you put in shaders and renders. Maybe his webs are a different color too. But that's just clicking a button. You're not going to convince me unless you set me down, my dumb brain down next to a programmer in
actually
a dev
doing
thing,
it all
and watching him show. Because you also got to think too, those dev people are probably telling, like the people sitting there programming a new or designing a new skin, right? It's like any job. You ever see Schindler's List?
No.
So this is an extreme
example. Yeah, I didn't expect Schindler's List to come up. Please continue. What the hell?
Extreme example, but it correlates kind of. The bad person in Schindler's List comes up to one of the workers and asks him to build him a door hinge, make him a door hinge out of like metal, stuff like that. It's their job to do it. So he sits there and he times him. So the boss is standing there, right? Looking over him.
Yeah.
And he's timing him. So he's super quick. He just fucking bangs it out, gives it to him. It's perfectly made because he's under the pressure. The boss is watching him. The boss is timing him. He's got to work super hard, right? Yeah. He gets it out. And then he's like, oh, that's amazing. Whatever time he did it. But I noticed your basket here of everything you've made so far today is so empty. Like, you should have hundreds of these done today if you only...
Yeah, if you take that long to do it.
If you do it this quick. So why don't you do it this quick? Well, because the boss ain't looking at you every 2 seconds, so you're dicking off.
Well, the other problem is the overcomplication of the industry. Like, Overwatch and Rivals...
And like I said too, okay, you're getting paid by the hour. So you're going to make the job fucking take 8 hours, or are you going to make it last a week?
True. But again, the thing with like some of these companies now, you make a skin in Rivals, you make the model, shade it, render it. You pass that off to the animation department to give it a bunch of fancy animations for splash screens, make sure it works with the emotes that exist in the game and shit like that. Like, I see part of it, especially again for Rivals, because when you buy a skin, it's almost more like you're buying a bundle. You get the skin, you get a special animation when you win, you get a special emote, you get a special everything. So again, you're not just making that. You're passing that off to animation. You're passing that off to the guy that's in charge of emotes. You're passing that off to them, which is, again, still their own fault. If it's a working system, that could still be made a good pipeline. That's just like any assembly line.
Yeah, exactly. Assembly line. Once you pass it off, you're ready to start working on the next one.
Yeah.
How often?
Rivals seems to have it down.
How often does Rivals put out patches for new skins and heroes and stuff like that?
Been too long.
Oh,
sorry.
Were they consistent at least?
Yes, and to Overwatch's credit, they are too. It's not like Mythic skins were the only skins they're making. It's just now that there's those loot boxes, no one gives a shit about skins because now they all go up on the market for like $20 for just the skin. Maybe a bundle with a new emote they made, but it's not like Rivals where that new emote is specifically like tailored to that skin.
I will say though, I haven't had to purchase anything in Smite 2 yet.
Good. That's why I miss loot boxes in Overwatch. I mean, I think they're coming back now to earn.
Loot boxes in Overwatch are back. That was a big controversy.
Oh, well, I'm never going back, so...
It's good. No, so like Smite has the legacy gems, so you get every gem you purchased in Smite 2, you get an equivalent number of them in Smite 2. And you can use those for 50% of the cost for anything you purchase in Smite 2.
Here's a good equivalency. Whatever keeps you playing Smite is what kept me playing Apex.
But
it's as different each match as that, but a little bit more because there's actual randomness built into the game.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying...
Yeah,
like,
no, sorry, I actually miss Apex.
Yeah, but then I also play 100 hours of JRPG.
And I don't know what my holdup is. I really don't.
So I wasn't trying to say...
Maybe it's because real opponents actually have a higher challenge ceiling. More actual combat that actually engages my brain.
Maybe you're just an online PvP player and you're not a PvE player.
But that can't be true because I put in way more time into beating Hollow Knight than it actually takes to beat Hollow Knight because of how thorough I am. It's in roguelikes. Don't get me started roguelikes. I put just as much time into games like Slay the Spire, Binding of Isaac, Balatro, and God, I got at least another Risk of Rain 2, the ultimate one. I've put in like 300 hours into Risk of Rain 2.
It's just honestly your fucking...
my brain.
It's just your style, because all of those games you just mentioned, I don't give a fuck about any of those games.
No, I know. There's actually a really good quote, and debatable the truth to it, but it definitely applies to me, where I think it might have been Gabe himself. You can measure the fun in a game by the amount of meaningful choices you make per amount of time. And in games with like that kind of randomness or real opponents where you have to make split-second decisions, that applies to that too. That's split-second decisions in your gameplay of like how to optimize. And I just don't find number optimization that fun.
Just because I don't have to make a decision in a Final Fantasy game, a split decision,
well, you
doesn't mean like what?
In combat still.
Well, definitely
in
not
the
turn-based
ones.
Well,
Well,
there's
yes,
no split
again,
decisions at all.
7 where the encounters aren't just this is a meat sack. Like you have encounters where half the time this thing nullifies magic damage. You got to figure out how to get around that. Like I think Persona does a really good job of giving you encounters that engage your mind. And
I guess, yeah.
Because Persona, you have to make meaningful decisions constantly. You have to manage your time. You're given Sophie's choices left and right. Do I spend time with this person? Do I go work out instead?
Which is why Persona 5
Meaningful.
Royal is the perfect RPG that you should be playing.
Meaningful is the quantitative word here. And yes, agreed, though. Agreed. It's meaningful is the up for debate word, because anyone could take that word and run with it. Me personally, going through a game, and again, I'm going to keep bringing 15 into this, because again, the combat just did not engage me. Same with Kingdom Hearts 3. It looks flashy, but I don't feel like I actually have to think about what I'm doing. If I go to switch to Prompto, it's because I'm bored, not because it's optimal. And games where I just have to equip up, and this includes Diablo these days.
Well, I will say that 15 is much more engaging in the new side, because there's a lot of fucking hard fights in the new 15. You're not gonna, but that's the thing, though, with every
like
JRPG that you play. Well, first off, Kingdom Hearts 3 is they just did a poor job of making the game difficult, because
in both
it's
games
wild
they had to
situation.
add the hard encounters into it.
Well, that's the problem with Wilds too, and I love Monster Hunter Wilds, but the game is too easy, because it's 10 years of just continuously adding tools for the player to get better and better and better, and the monsters have stayed the same. I have died.
But you are such a veteran to that game too.
Yeah, but
it's too easy for me too, but it's still pretty engaging.
You've played 6 other Kingdom Hearts games, so by the time you got to Kingdom Hearts 3, and you're like, oh shit.
Well, 2 wasn't even that hard, let's be real. There's like
I'm proud.
5 hard fights. Yes,
I'm proud. Well, I only play on Proud on Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And no game is really hard on a normal difficulty. You're going to have like 2 or 3 encounters that are hard. Every RPG you can think of that could be hard in the first like 15, like I would say 15 minutes, but that's not true. In like the first like 3 hours of gameplay, because you're so early level, you have like no health or no abilities, so you could die then. Once you get into levels, every RPG gets easier the longer you play it, because the tools you have access to, and the power scale, and the health pool, and the item pool, and the magic pool that you have. This
is why I like roguelikes so much, because even like you get so powerful, but they get harder the later you get. And most of the roguelikes I've played, I have not beaten. Like Isaac, I've beaten because I've done the standard playthrough, but once you do that, there is like 10 different longer routes that end in different final bosses that you could take based on your decisions.
See, and I don't like that. I don't want to have to go through a story 6 times. That was the negative part of me having to play Nier. I don't like having to replay the shit I've already done to experience something slightly different.
Again, for roguelike, story is a strong word.
Yeah.
Isaac, you are not stopped for a cutscene. There's no dialogue.
Okay.
You are only playing the game.
Yeah. All right, take Hades. The aspect of having to like restart and go a slightly different path this way is like, again, it's just not.
The story progresses every single time you start over, but Hades is like the strangest case, because it's one of the very few roguelikes that really tries hard to have a story through the whole game. But I get what you're saying. It's pretty much comes down to, do you like arcade games or not? Because roguelikes really emulate arcade games. I wanted to make a whole ass video. I do. If you have a good enough gameplay loop that changes or engages me in some way, I will fuck with that game forever. I will still go back and play Binding of Isaac. That game is old by most standards now. I think that's like 2015, 2014. I could be shooting. But it's also added combat for all of that time. There's like 5 different editions of Binding of Isaac just to bundle the new content that keeps coming to these games. Because once you have that good setup with all of the power-ups that evolve over time and all the routes, all you got to do is just add more variety. You go to do an update for like Isaac, you just add 100. Boom. Everyone's playing Isaac again.
I guess, but that's like, it's like I'm just all set with it. Every run is exactly the same. It's like, oh, I got a different item, so my pew-pews are shaped slightly the same map.
To be fair, it's better to me than I got a better equipment that made my number bigger, but nothing I see is visually different. It's what killed MMOs for me, too, to be fair. I didn't want to grind for loot that doesn't change my gameplay experience. I'm still doing the exact same rotation no matter what I'm wearing. At least that's why I liked Diablo 3 so much before the mystique got ripped out of Diablo for me.
For MMOs, the gameplay is the same, yes, but it's the encounters, it's the fight, just like you said. Every new fight, because you also...
And that did keep me for a while, because when I was playing the hard content, when I actually... the hard content, first of all.
Extreme Trials.
Well, I was doing Coil. I was late, but I was doing Coil back in the day. With your help, because I wanted my fancy jacket that I still wear.
Yes.
But when I was doing that content, I liked it, you know?
That's the appeal to the MMO.
Grinding to get number increases.
I also hate the grind, but that's just the MMO genre in general. Just it's like I hate the fucking repetition of the same thing in Risk of Rain. So it's basically the same thing.
I guess story's just not a good enough incentive for me. I don't.
But no, because that's not true, because there's plenty of RPGs like what kept you to play 13-2 all the way to the end. The story.
Pokemon.
All right, what about Kingdom Hearts? Every Kingdom Hearts game has the same combat, just slightly different, but each one of those you play it to the end.
Yeah, but
if you had
did I not get more disillusioned with each game as the story came? I think
the only time you got disillusioned was
story.
After Dream Drop Distance, but that's
including Dream Drop Distance.
5 games in.
There is only 10 minutes of Dream Drop Distance that does matter to the full continuity. The last 10 minutes of that game. You could take the entire rest of the game and put it in a trash bin, and the story would not be affected. That game was such a bullshit side quest. Yes. All of these worlds are sleeping now. Wake up these worlds.
But then what about
somehow the combat
Yakuza Like a Dragon?
I didn't finish it.
I know, but you love that game. The reason you didn't beat that game, most of these times you don't play these RPGs, is because you had 12 different games that you were trying to play at the same time, and instead you would just brain rot through fucking Apex.
Because I get bored. I can only hit the same commands over and over again through trash mobs so many times before I'm sitting here like, time to take another MP potion.
All right, but again, that's your problem. These are bad games, right?
Did I call them bad games?
No, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying that in general. Just like me, I'm not calling Risk of Rain a bad game or any of those other games
TCG
like that.
Card Shop Simulator. Because that's another weird case. There's no story to that. There's no story to that game. It's just a simulator. I put more time into that than 16.
The saddest part for me for that when you were playing that was because it's like you were working in a retail job.
I know.
And then you came home and played a game where you were working in a retail
job. And when you don't have a cashier yet, you're literally clicking the money to give them their change. So they get $16. You click a 10, a 5, a 1, and which coins to give them their change. God, having cashiers is great.
That sounds horrendous.
But again, I also point to like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight does have a story, but most of it's environmental storytelling and just really good world maps, kind of like Dark Souls in general, where they leave a lot of it unsaid. And again, I put in a lot of time into Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight really only takes like 50 to 60 hours to beat if you know what you're doing. If you're a speedrunner, obviously way less. But I've put in like 80 to 100 into Hollow Knight, and I haven't touched the DLCs yet. But granted, Hollow Knight's a game where I'm completionist mode. As far as base game, I've only missed 2 bosses and 1 fight encounter.
How much do the encounters of that vary? In your combat-wise, not the fight that this boss shoots. This boss's pattern's different.
Not including bosses. Because
like, how much does your characters change combat-wise throughout the game?
An okay amount. I don't know how to put this. You've played Dark Souls 1? Just to throw out something. Have you played Dark Souls 3?
Barely.
You know how sometimes you open a door and that leads you to like 2 other doors?
Sure.
Hollow Knight's different. This is Metroidvania. Dark Souls is a Metroidvania, but that's a conversation for another day. You get power-ups that help you traverse the world, do combat and everything like that different. So like you go through this chunk of the map, let's say. You're just the dude, you can jump, you can hit things with your sword. You get double jump here, paths here open up. You get a Kamea wave here, paths here and here open up. So for like 60 hours of that game, you're getting power-ups that help you explore and do combat differently.
Yeah, there's plenty of RPGs I can think of like that. Like,
Yeah.
like the Tales of Arise-esque RPGs, or the Tales series, because a lot of or the YS series, a lot of that too. You'll see something there, and you'll be like, "How the fuck do I even get over there? Like, I can't fucking swim, so how do I make this jump? I can't do it." And then a few hours later in gameplay, you get in the new Year's game, you get a fucking surfboard, and you're like, "Oh shit, it goes right over the water. Or, now I can do this," or you get high jump, or Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that.
Exactly, like Flow Motion Kingdom Hearts. But Hollow Knight, it gets to the point where like you're developing all these skills now that you absolutely need later on. Like to get over one simple pathway, you're doing like flying like Superman, stopping it, pogo sticking with your sword off of enemies to reset your fucking wild. And I'm still stuck on the final boss. It does change, but there's also shit that feels meaningful to find. Like if you go off the beaten path that you don't have to go, you find a tram pass that can bring you to 2 other areas you don't have to go. Like, it really friggin' evolves to me, and it's a platformer.
Well, I mean, there are plenty of other RPGs that evolve too. I think it's more of just combat not being different enough in each engagement, so you get bored of that element.
And let's also not discount the fact that when people start spoiling shit to game to keep me going.
Right.
I can't discount that either, because almost all of these story games get spoiled for me in some way. Even Hollow Knight I spoiled for myself because there's so many secrets you can miss, like that tram pass, which I did find on my own though.
Nice.
I was like, tramway graveyard, I'm gonna go to wherever this fucking leads me. But then there's story beats to find there. Like I go to where all the bugs that are trains in that world were dead, and there you see the discarded like carriages, you see the rot, because just like Dark Souls, the world's rotting. But that's what Hollow Knight does best. You go beat this boss, the rot spreads. Some of the old areas are now completely different. Whole ass pathways through the world close off, and whole new monsters. Like,
that's just RPGs.
I don't know what the difference maker is. Maybe because I actually have to think about how I travel, because it's a platformer too.
Or just the aesthetic of the game. You just find that better than the
also think like
AAA version of some of these other RPGs, because like...
Well, I think of 13 and 16, you don't really have to traverse.
Well,
think about traversal.
16 for like a lot of the beginning sections is linear. All of 13 is linear. There's one little section in 13 that is an open area, but it's not very big. It's not an open world, it's just an open area.
Yeah.
And the whole rest of the game is fucking linear. Same with 13-2 and 13. 12 is kind of more open, and like 15 is an open world, but...
I got bored of 12 and stopped playing that one too.
But...
10 and 12, both games where I quit in just a regular open world area because I got bored. And those are PS2 games.
10 is also linear. People try and say it's open. No, the fucking planes do not count. If
that is to backtrack for shit you missed. That is the only reason that exists.
You come to this open area. It's all that is a giant circle. It's like you're going through a castle or a dungeon in Dark Souls, right? The dungeon is fucking linear. Yeah, there's some side paths, but they end up dead ends, right? Then you come to a room that's just a giant circle. Is that an open world? No, it's just a giant area inside the linear area.
I stopped 10 both times at the Thunder Plains. I was not stuck on anything. Nothing was even really pissing me off. Like the lightning bolts weren't pissing me off.
Nah. I remember them pissing you off.
They're pissing me off because there's some sort of reward you get for dodging so many in a row. That's what it is. I fucking hate grinding. I really do. I absolutely despise grinding. Don't grind.
Don't grind for the reward that is meaningless.
Yes, but I'll have to grind eventually. Almost all of these games require grinding. If I don't grind in 12, I will die. I stopped 12 while grinding.
But you grind ranked.
Those are challenging opponents. Grinding is fighting trash mobs.
Yeah.
Grinding rank has prestige. Grinding in an RPG has...
Rank does not have prestige. Fuck yeah.
What do you play ranked for?
I don't play ranked.
Oh, okay. I play ranked in almost all of the competitive games that I play. I played ranked in Overwatch. I play ranked... I'm not in Predecessor because they had the stupid time gates. I play ranked in... Exclusively play ranked in Magic. Exclusively. I don't play casuals. Even with decks I just make and need to test, I still stupidly go into ranked.
No, I just don't like the ranked setup.
Like, I play competitive games to be competitive. To be challenged. And that's part of the problem. And part of why I like roguelikes. It's because I want to be challenged and beat a challenge. So when I'm fighting level 35 trash mobs to help grind myself up to level 37 or level 38, I don't feel rewarded. Oh, that's such a dirty word.
I do, because I did it my way. And however I choose to do it. In almost every ranked mode that exists in a competitive play, you're forced to play whatever meta is.
Oh, forced is a strong word. It's not like I'm on a team.
No, but if you want to be on the highest capability of your thing, say you're at a high end
I like
level.
to get to that prestige my way.
All right, but then if you're going to get there and you're not playing the meta decks in Magic, you're just going to lose every match.
No, well, that's a can of worms also.
Yes.
Because the meta is enormous ever since they expanded how many sets are in Standard, but I don't want to go on the world's biggest tirade.
Even like...
But yes, when I see mono red, I almost always scoop turn one.
Biggest one, League of Legends.
Yes.
160 something heroes or whatever, and like 30 of them are viable. You
and
can't choose your favorite character in League and get to fucking whatever their highest rank is.
And because it's such a team game, such a time investment with such a dedicated fan base, there is an immediate social pressure the moment you enter that game to be playing
I'll
meta.
play whoever I want, and I'll listen to all of them fucking hate me.
See,
I'll
I do it my way.
Yeah, but then you lose every match. Because fucking people leave because
every match.
Chose something stupid.
Yes, because the time investment. Because I play off meta on Overwatch. I play whatever the deck I fucking want on Magic. Don't get me wrong. Like, obviously I don't play my worst decks always, but I also don't sit here and be like, mono red gets the wins. I'm gonna play mono red. I fucking hate mono red players. I actually have been playing those matches out just to see if I could ruin their day for trying to get quick wins just playing mono red.
Ooh, I like the pettiness.
Again, there is competitiveness in me. When I was playing Rivals, I started popping off on people, not in like a mean way, just like in jokingly flirtatious to throw them off their game and just being fun in the text chat.
I also just don't like the environment because you get into it too, where you fucking people baby rage and toxic rage at people.
In Magic, they do what's called roping, where you can take forever because the time limits are very generous because it's Magic the fucking Gathering. They have to be.
Yeah. So
they'll just let that timer run and run. And then as you play fast, you get time extensions. For when it runs out, it'll be like, oh, you saved up one time extension. I'm just sitting there hitting all of the emotes I paid for.
There's emotes in Magic Arena.
Yes. And there's pets that sit on the game table. I have a Chocobo right now because I did one of the pre-order bundles. It's really cute.
They'll find anything to make money, huh?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's why there's digital-only formats. But another discussion for another day. We'll have a Magic episode soon when I'm done drafting.
Fuck that.
That's why I could actually talk about how good these cards are or not. Sir, they sell cosmetics for your cards. You want to slap a full art borderless version on there? Give us some money. You want fancy basic lands? Give us some money.
That just makes sense that they would have like that.
Yeah, it's believable, right?
It's believable.
But I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if the table you play on can be changed.
Thankfully, that's the one thing that's kind of like Apex, where there's a bunch of different tables, and it'll just pick one of them at random, or based on whatever sets out.
Still dumb.
But I don't know what it is. It's something about when I play games, I like to be constantly challenged by it, but at the same time, my attention span is so shitty. Like, that's why I like roguelikes. Because I can go to Binding of Isaac, and if I play 2 runs, that will be at most 45 minutes at my time. Maybe an hour. And then if I'm bored, or if I do really, really shitty, I'll go to Loop Hero, a different roguelike that is an entirely different game than Binding of Isaac. And I could do 2 runs in that. That'll take me at most 45 minutes. And have that whole progression curve is the other important thing. Like, there's still that scale up in power in gameplay stuff, like, especially fucking Isaac. But Isaac's a silly case. Isaac doesn't tell you most of the time what half your power-ups actually do.
We're just 2 totally different gamers, because I'm just a completionist and you're just a...
I like surprises. In my games, not in my life.
I don't know. Not completionist?
But, I don't know. Risk of Rain, I got that platinum. Because I hunted down every secret and power-up in that game. With the internet. Some of those, if you didn't have the internet.
I bet.
There's these codes that you can punch in. And you get those codes off of tablets that you can find. And there's half of a tablet on each of the different kinds of maps. So you have to pair the 2 up that are right. Remember that code in your head, which is shapes.
Yep. And then
go to the very specific spot on stage 5 to punch it in. So I always point to Risk of Rain being a game you need the internet for. Off of one of the secrets being, you'd have to jump off a cliff on a certain stage, turn around to see a cave that's on the opposite side of it. So you'd have to literally jump off the map to even see where one of the secrets are.
Here's my thing, though. For people like you and you yourself, if you know that you have this issue of the RPG, how do you justify buying it if you know you're only going to play it for, say, 15 hours?
How do I justify buying Tekken or Apex Legends skins? I don't.
Ouch.
Game look interesting. I buy game. I didn't finish Warhammer. I was so stoked for that game. Got bored of shit of that one. Really fast. Really fucking fast. And I like shooters.
I think you should just play online games then.
Probably.
Maybe. Well, I mean, you've been doing... I mean, doesn't matter anyway. Right now, you're just fucking... You're like 2 months dry fucking off the games in general.
Besides Magic. But again, I'm literally just grinding. I don't even play Commander on there anymore because there's no competitive Commander.
Well, even with just Magic, it's only been a week that you've been playing it again, right?
Like a few. But this is going to be the big week because Final Fantasy. It's not even like I don't like story. I don't know what it is with me.
Well, I mean, you're just
I just care about gameplay more, yeah. Well, there's a completionist in me that does hurt some of these RPGs. Like, I would have played more 15 if I did ARMS in such a tiny, packed amount of space. The ones I had access to.
Well, most of them are you just walk up to the fucking arena, you open the door, and you get in there, and you take it.
But then it's like, oh, well, I gotta go pinpoint where the next one is, go drive over there, avoid trash mobs.
I'll never be able to tell you the name of the dungeon because, fuck if I remember it. But I've done the dungeon twice now, and I think that you would really enjoy it in
15.
That
makes me sad because again, I liked the combat in 15.
Oh,
it was
no
flashy.
combat in it.
Oh, that sounds even better.
It's platforming.
Oh,
but in the dark.
Ooh, no. I was gonna bring up DMC, technically Devil May Cry 5. I loved the platforming sections in that game. It was a great way to break up what is a very easy combat system once again. Like most Devil May Cries, the complexity is for your own sake, to have fun and be expressive.
Right.
But I loved the platforming sections in that game. And that's what I love about Hollow Knight. There's actually one more thing I haven't done in Hollow Knight that's in the base game, and it's because it's completely optional. I don't even think it rewards you anything for doing it. But it's called the Path of Pain. It is the hardest platforming section in the entire game, and it's hidden away. It's hidden away in the dream world of the dreams of a night you have to enter at one point. And it's literally like, I mean, hidden. It's like old school Donkey Kong where there's like a wall that you can actually slide under or go through that's not actually a wall. And then here's the hardest platforming section in the whole game. You got through it. Good job, buddy. Slap on the back. Hope you liked it. Hope it was fun.
So, like, this is just some of the dungeon. So, like, this section's
This
like
is right up my fucking alley.
This dungeon is just so nerve-wracking.
Like, I love platforming games. I still haven't beaten Celeste, but I love that fucking game.
So, the only light source is really the one that's on you right there. And, like, this is just one section where you see it from this way, but most of it is, like... This is him entering the dungeon. That's useless to me. Well, this is a full video. I'll just skip through and show you here. A full walkthrough is a fucking half-hour long video. But
I got something loaded up for you.
It's just this one big giant puzzle. You just have to find your way through it. And like this, you could fall down there and you just fall to your death and you have to like restart everything. There's certain checkpoints that you get to, like unlocks, but it's just like, it's just fucking, it's not a platforming game, so the jumping is janky and shit.
Yes, but you know, I've done a lot of that.
It's like
I was thinking the platforming challenges that were in 14 sometimes.
Oh, those are fucking fun, but they are, again,
Speaking of jank jumping, yeah. So, it's only 2 minutes. And it's a speed run, so they're not going to fail. Any of these saw blades are instant death and send you back. And those are spikes too, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's intense. It's just not for me.
No, I know.
Yeah, cool.
It's another minute and a half of that gets
I'm
way more ridiculous.
I'm hoping for you for your Silk Song, so
it's coming eventually.
Hopefully this year.
I actually might have completed this. I know this section. But I've also watched this content so much. Though to be fair, I do think if you gave it a try, you might like it, but that's a might. Because the world is the littiest, McTittiest. It made me want to go play Souls games. That's why I tried so hard to play Souls games. Because it's very Souls-like. Bonfires, the whole sorts. The plot, even, is very Souls-like. War of the gods corrupting the world sort of deal.
And it sucks too because you want me to play that game so hard, and it's like
I think you'd like Hades more.
So out of my realm, but then like the main game I want you to play is also just so much more out of your realm too.
What's the number one game? Persona 5?
Yeah, because it's like long single player games, and that's like you saw my time in that game.
But
just to get correct through,
there is a reason
120 hours.
There is a reason it was like the number one game I was trying to get you to play for the longest time. It's because it's the JRPG I'm most likely to be able to get through the whole thing. It's the one I'm most motivated to get through the whole thing, to be honest.
Persona 5?
Yeah. Again,
it makes me sad that you said that because I've been saying to you.
I know.
Oh, it's been like 3 years.
But I stand by the decisions thing. The time management system really makes that game something different. Like, your walking around time fucking matters.
Well, the walking around time doesn't matter, but
you know
what
I
you
mean.
Choose to use as your activity for the day, yes.
Yeah. It makes a difference, and it really gets you immersed. Like, you really feel like you're playing these fucking characters, and their dynamic is incredible. I mean, plenty of Final Fantasy games have great casts with good dynamics. Don't get me wrong. But
different kind of RPG, yeah.
It really gets you connected to even your vendors. I haven't felt connected to a vendor in Final Fantasy
ever. Well, I mean, just
sometimes
in
not
any,
even
any other kind of RPGs, like the same can be said
Skyrim.
for,
You
like,
get like a couple that you might, because there's a quest that involves them, but you're not invested in your vendor the same way Persona invests you in your vendors, and the same way Hollow Knight does.
if you choose to, though.
If you choose to.
You can also choose just to ignore them and have them just be a vendor.
That's why I'm like, there's a story gamer somewhere in me. I cared about Diablo's story. Even though that's a game, that's like the ultimate pinnacle game where people usually don't give a fuck about the story.
True dat.
True dat. But then I play roguelikes, where all of the story, again, Binding of Isaac's story, that's all contextual. If you went right now and played Binding of Isaac, you wouldn't know any of that unless you started really paying attention to your environments. You're like, you start the dungeons like, it says I'm in the basement. What does that mean? Why is there shit everywhere? Why am I fighting spiders and sliding shits that move across the floor with my tears?
Atlas just doesn't want me to play Persona 5 again.
You shouldn't want yourself to play Persona 5 again.
I do want to play it again. Just finding the time to do it. I just need another game lull, and I'll probably do it again. But,
So I got like 4 of my favorite roguelikes on my phone, as well as Steam, as well as my Switch.
because Persona 3 came out, and I was like, oh, this game just make... Because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to play Persona 4 Revival, and it's just going to make me want to play Persona 5 again, because I'll be playing the whole thing. Seeing all of the things that it built on Persona 3, but I'm just like, but Persona 5 built on this to make Persona 5 better than this?
Yeah.
And I still got to play Metaphor. Which
And
is
again,
why
you are really going to like Metaphor.
I need to play Metaphor now so that then I can get that Persona break, and then I can play Rivals, and then beat that and have it just be perfectly timed enough for that break to happen. Persona 6 to come out.
I was sad you didn't mean Marvel Rivals. Oh.
No.
Well, of all the games I try to push you to play, it would make me sad if it was Marvel Rivals, but at least it's free.
Yeah, that probably will never happen.
That's a good thing about most of the games I'd suggest to you. They're probably $30 or less. I think Hades was $40 on release. Silk Song, Hollow Knight with the new editions and shit's like $40.
I mean, GameStop's still around, so that's a good thing. But the unfortunate side is that going to like cloud gaming in the future and just digital onlys, the chances of getting games for cheaper is you're gonna have to wait for that one-off chance it goes on sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you AAA gamers and your prices. Sorry, I was thinking of Slay the Spire being like $20.
I agree with you.
Yes. That's a roguelike I would recommend. And not because it has a story this time.
And I'm not just
it's a
only a
card game.
AAA. I play AA.
Yes. And I got you to play Risk of Rain 2. That's an indie.
Yeah, I just don't play indies because I'm a PlayStation guy, and there's like no indies that are worth any of my time and my interest on PlayStation. I'm sure there's plenty of them that I can find on Steam.
Yes, and to be sad, a lot of my favorite ones do come to Switch first. If they even hit PlayStation, it's usually way later. Besides,
the
like Hollow Knight.
audacity of Switch to fucking be as expensive it is, and then to bump their games from up to $80 and physical copies being $90, when all the physical copy is a key to download the game off their store.
Yes. How dare I speak of wasting money when I own Slay the Spire on 4 platforms and paid for it on all of those platforms. I think I have it on PlayStation also.
Slay the Spire does it again, just like Todd did it to me.
It's true. But I did finally beat it on the phone version. It's not any different. I just put in the time to fucking beat it.
Well, it was already forward too, so you could play it wherever you wanted to.
Yeah. Again, that's one I would recommend to you solely for gameplay because it's a card game. It is a card game, but it is a turn-based combat card game.
They also didn't announce a release date on that fucking Revival, so I should really just get on that.
The sooner you start Metaphor, the sooner you beat it.
Well,
because it's long.
It's coming because one of my next two games is going to be Expedition 33 or Metaphor. I mean, there's no other game that I'm getting, but other than that, but I need again, my completionist. Before I get another game, I need to beat some games, and I'm probably kicked myself in the ass by getting Tainted Grail Avalon's Fall immediately after playing Oblivion, because it's another long ass game, and I should have just waited and beat Pirate Yakuza first and decide what the fuck I'm doing after that. If I am going back to just Yakuza Like a Dragon, going back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. Should. I went back. I still have played a few hours. I'm definitely further than you now.
Oh yeah,
because of my last fucking foray into it. I played good like 4 or 5 hours.
I hate to even say it, but the next game I'd probably buy is Silksong. Or I lied. I actually lied. I think they're free. I don't know if he started charging for them, but the Undertale sequel has been coming out in chapters, and I've just been waiting for those to stack up to play through. Because I thankfully have only had one chapter spoiled for me.
Well, honestly, that's probably a good thing for you right now, because
hey, that's another
you have
RPG.
Such a huge backlog of games that you've just
even the roguelikes. Because again, let me be clear.
On, you know what I mean?
I haven't beaten even some of my favorite roguelikes because they are fucking hard. I haven't technically beaten Loop Hero. I'm on the last chapter, but Chapter 1 is like this long, you get a boss. Chapter 2 is this long, you get a boss. Chapter 3 is this long, you get a boss. Chapter 4 is this long, but you fight the Chapter 1 boss here, the Chapter 2 boss here, the Chapter 3 boss here, and then whatever boss. And that's too hard for me. I die at about boss 2.
I'm surprised you haven't been talking anything about Path of Exile 2 either.
I wish I could be playing it right now. I should be playing it, but it's like having the time. At least, again, I actually want to toot my own horn. I beat Undertale. That's not the world's greatest achievement. Everyone that plays Undertale beats Undertale. But I also at least beat Path of Exile. I didn't do nearly enough of the giant, expansive, wonderful endgame. Roguelike-y, might I add. But, I do want to play more of it. It's just like Diablo, though. Like, a new season comes out, you're playing through a lot of content over again.
Yeah.
With a whole new build and everything, which is what I fucking love with Path of Exile.
I'm just happy that this Game Awards era has, for me, not given too many games. Because now I don't have to worry about what games am I going to play that I want to play, and what games do I want to play that I'm not going to play.
True. And just to circle back to Path of Exile, the other great thing is I can just wait 3 seasons and there's going to be Lord knows how many new abilities to equip, classes to pick from, ascendancy classes on classes that already exist.
More content to play.
Their last update put out a new class, added 3 advanced classes to existing classes, and then, again, skill gems. Their skill system's just the best because skills are equipable. So it's like, when they add skills, those skills could be put on this number of classes. Not just, here's a new skill for just the sorceress. So, if anything, hopefully sooner, but I could just wait till full release on Path of Exile and then no life it. Which is still when I'd say, hop on the train, because it'll be free to play.
Maybe. We'll see what's happening around that time.
It's true. But I do think you'd like it.
For me, I saw there's a vampire game that's coming out. I forget the name of it. That looks dope. Witcher 4. I'm going to be all over the fuck.
Yeah, you are.
All the fuck over that game. The Witcher 3 is still one of the best, if not the best, Western RPG.
And I still want to try it because it's everything that I asked for in RPG specifically, where even the side content feels like good stories that are meaningful with actual decisions that have consequences.
Yes.
Unlike...
That have consequences on the main story.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better. But I mean even consequences in the side story. Because again, I'm tired of pick these 4 turnips for me, oh Lord of our salvation. Instead, it's like, here's an actual story for you that
Yes,
changes based on what you do.
The characters and lore of... I would play The Witcher 3 again today.
That's
if it
an important
wasn't
quality
like
for me.
140 gigs.
Because let's go back to another RPG I've beaten, Skyrim. Why did I beat Skyrim? It's an engaging fucking game. It's certainly not because the combat evolves all that much.
Truth.
You pick your playstyle gets more effective. I mean, your Atronachs look better. I'm a summoner. Maybe that's me liking the visual feedback of looking stronger.
Your spells get flashier.
And again, even that, I'm like, I summon my Atronach, switch to my dual wielding pop elemental fury. That thing's probably dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless it's a dragon and it's being a cunt and just flying overhead.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't even want to think back to the Alduin fight. That was so boring for me because I equipped a shield for that just to fucking stun lock the motherfucker.
Yeah, but the whole point of that fight, he doesn't fly though.
Yeah.
Just dragon rend him
Yes.
once and he stays on the ground.
Yeah, it just you uplifted boredom trauma. Where it's like, I'm at the final fight, dragon red, shield bash, ha 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 ha, shield bash, ha 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 ha.
Well, because my son makes that point too, because he likes watching me play other games too, where in other games, like he loves Monster Hunter because it's just a boss run. And he loves bosses. And there's no bosses in Oblivion.
No.
Same with Skyrim. There's no bosses. You get to the end of the dungeon and there's a slightly stronger Draugr that takes 3 hits to kill instead of 2.
Yes.
There's no bosses.
It's very much rooted in simulation.
Yes.
That's actually one of the core principles, bring this full circle one more time, of roguelikes in general too, is that it's all systems based. Those things that you're fighting probably have all of the capabilities you have, or you can at least assume that much. And that's simulations. That's Skyrim. You see a mage in Skyrim that's your boss, you have a pretty good idea what that fucking guy's going to be throwing at you. I think of the Necromancer from the Meridia.
Yeah.
Alduin. You know what Alduin's capable of the moment you see Alduin.
Yeah, he's a dragon. He fucking is gonna...
And that's simulator logic. But it does make for some unmemorable bosses.
Yes.
Like even Hades has maybe 4 or 5 bosses, but I remember them. I remember their phases real well. I think it's still Eat My Giant Asshole. My giant hairy asshole, let me tell you. It's one of those dual bosses, you kill one of them, the other one gets enraged.
Yeah.
But Theseus is a shield bearer that you can only hit from behind, who spams lightning and throws his javelin while the minotaurs coming fucking at you.
Nice. But I think we should end it there before we get on another tirade.
Yes, because that was a long one.
Yes.
Because roguelikes happened.
Games happened.
Yes. I'm going to go beat all of the roguelikes I haven't beaten, because that list is long. And you'd be baffled by the different gameplay loops of each one of them.
Do it. I'm a completionist, so I fully support this.
Thank you.
And again, my platinum hunting.
I won't go on another tirade, but I was there. I need to get completionist with the games that I actually care about, because it works for Hollow Knight, it works for Undertale, it works for all the other roguelikes I like. I need to actually thoroughly beat Isaac. That should be my goal.
You know what you could do too? Because you do like these games you have, and you're just saying you get bored. Just cycle through the games.
That's
right.
like,
okay, put 45 minutes of... I'm just going to throw games out. 45 minutes of Final Fantasy 15. Then you play 45 minutes of Hollow Knight. Then you play 45 minutes of this roguelike that you haven't beat. Then you play 45 minutes of Kingdom Hearts. Or however many.
No, you're right. You're
one day
right.
You're just like, oh, I just played 3 hours of fucking Kingdom Hearts. Or 3 hours of 15. I'm
a guy that brings up gameplay loops a lot. I should end... Because, again, I feel satisfied when I go to log in and play a little bit of an RPG. But it's just when that boredom spike hits is when I need to jump to the next thing. And really, I need to harness my ADHD.
Yeah. But, yes. Good place then.
Yes.
Dukes of Weebdom, 110. Full gaming podcast, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about Magic at the beginning, but...
And there will be more of that.
Yes. And I promise you, one of these times we will get back into our manga, because we're so behind. Well, we're ahead on reading, We're so behind on discussing.
Which is good for Chainsaw Man. But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, because every chapter feels like it's 2 pages long.
Yes.
All right, guys. Take care.
Peace.
See you next week.